And renamed Ivor Wynne in 1970, has been the site of 3 Grey Cups and countless memories for Ticat fans. 84 years old, and after today, no more regular season games at Ivor Wynne. It's the CFL on TSN. Two weeks to go in the season, and playoff fates are yet to be decided. Today marks the last regular season CFL game at Ivor Wynne Stadium, and both the Bombers and the Ticats are desperate for a win because the loser is out of the postseason. Tigers, get around! Today we take a look at a revered Ticats tradition, one that is synonymous with Steeltown. And in honor of the final game at Ivor Wynne, our guys tackle a Hamilton-themed edition of 3 downs. And in Game 2 of our doubleheader, the Argos take another shot at punching their playoff ticket against the Riders at Mosaic. The CFL on TSN pregame show is now. Here is Henry Burris, who has set a franchise record for touchdown passes in a single season already, but his team's in tough to make the playoffs. They have to win their last 2 and get some help, and it's the same situation for Buck Pierce and the Bombers. No more room for error. They have to win out to have a shot at the postseason. Both teams just 5 wins apiece. So under soggy skies in Hamilton, the stakes are high in this final game at Ivor Wynne. You don't want to disappoint these guys, do you, if you're a Ticat? For a soggy scene set, let's take it to Ivor Wynne and bring in Chris Cuthbert and Glenn Suter. Guys.
Thank you, Dave. Plenty of rain today, plenty of emotion being billed as the final game at Ivor Wynne, and we're going to reminisce today, celebrate, but the Hamilton Tiger Cats want to change the whole script because for them, they have still a chance to finish second in the East and get a home playoff game here at Ivor Wynne, so a lot at stake.
Yeah, both these teams still alive. This is the must-win game, though, and the Hamilton Tiger Cats have to start by taking care of business, and that's to try and get the win this afternoon. One guy who has taken care of business this year, despite the record, has been Henry Burris. 37 touchdown passes is a Hamilton Tiger Cat record, poised to get to that 40 mark because 7 times this year he's thrown for at least 3 touchdown passes in a game. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers, in a win last week, were susceptible to the big play. Passes over 30 yards, they gave up 5, and that's where Chris Williams comes in.
No doubt about it, and in the win for the Ticats against Winnipeg, Chris Williams was a dangerous threat. They shut him down the last time, and Chris Williams won away from a Ticat touchdown record.
Yeah, he's poised to get to that 15 mark, and 15 set by Tony Champion 1989. Ron Williams did it twice, and that would tie that mark. But in conditions like this, it won't be just the big play to Chris. To move the change, you need your veteran receivers, your possession guys, to come up big on second down. That's where Dave Stala comes in. He's a veteran and knows this stadium well.
He's also a Hamilton boy, used to come here as a fan, but not nostalgic today. His eyes on a win.
We don't win, we go home. So that's the way I'm looking at it, and I hope everyone else is. And we just got to execute a game plan and get some plays done. I know it's going to be terrible weather again, so we just got to concentrate on doing the little things right and catching the football as receivers. And we talked about scoring touchdowns this week. Last time we were in Winnipeg, we kicked 4 field goals or 5 field goals. So we got to put up 30 points in order for our team to win. And we believe in our offense, and we've done it all year, so we can do it again.
A lot of mixed emotions as we go through this last game here at Ivor Wynne Stadium. And I know as the visitor coming in, I'm thinking about a team that is always about tough football teams, tough fans. So in that way, the weather is absolutely perfect.
Absolutely, and it's probably perfect that the Bombers are here too. They were great rivals in the 50s and 60s. In fact, met in the Grey Cup 5 times in a 6-year span. It's going to be an interesting day at Ivor Wynne. Dave?
Boys, thank you very much. And with Halloween just around the corner, we've dressed up our CFL on TSN studios. Schulte was in here early, carving the pumpkins. Nice job. Hi, everybody. Dave Randorf along with Milt Stiegel, Matt Dunnigan, Chris Schultz. And I think we've established that Mother Nature is not a Ticats fan. No, sir. But as the boys said, perfect, nasty conditions for what could be a nasty affair. You know, teams don't like to throw out the must-win moniker for games, but this one clearly is must-win for both these teams. Not only do they both have to win out, they got to get some help. And so with that in mind, with the stakes that high, what do both teams need to do here to get the W, Milt?
Well, speaking on Winnipeg, it's pretty simple. They have to run the ball. You know, their most important weapon on their offense is not Buck Pierce. Of course, he's their motivational leader, but they have to get the ball to their running backs, Chad Simpson and Will Ford. And you look at what they did last week. They ran the ball 43 times. And I talked to Glenn January, and he said that was the best soreness he ever had after the game because they had the chance to run the ball. And if they don't get down early, they get to utilize those running backs, which is their most important weapon, Chad Simpson and Will Ford. They have to find a way to give them the ball early, keep Hamilton's offense off the field, and they have a chance to win this game. If they have to go out and have a shootout, they don't have a chance to win this game, Chris.
You know, Milton, my point is simple, too. When you talk about the Hamilton Ticats, I mean, they have to play a better brand of defense, and specifically the run defense. Now, there's a simplicity to run defense that has to be repeated over and over. First and foremost, if you're in that defensive front seven, are you in the right alignment? And from the alignment, do you have clarity in your assignment? Do you know exactly where you're supposed to be and when you're supposed to be there? After that, it's about your technique. How do you use your body to defeat your opponent, first and foremost, that is right in front of you, whether you're in the secondary or whether you're on the defensive line? And finally, it's about effort. Do you play the game with extreme effort and energy? Those are all controllable issues. When you talk about the defense in any football team, biggest disappointment for this football team, the Ticats, that entire defense.
Well, Toronto couldn't control those issues last week against the run game of Winnipeg. 260 yards that Winnipeg rolled up along the ground. So, Matty, if one of these teams are able to get into the playoffs, then which one is more likely to be a threat once they get there?
Ooh, I have to put on my prognosticator cap, and I'm going to have to say the Winnipeg Blue Bombers because I just don't see the Hamilton Ticats defense changing its color this time of the football season. But I see the Bombers enduring a very difficult football season. Offensively, Buck Pierce. If he stays healthy, he's a consummate professional and competitor. I think he helps not only his offense, but his defense. Defensively, this football team has endured a lot as well. Up front, they've lost Maynard, Hall, Collier, and Vega, but they get Bryant back in this football team, and I think they can step forward. And their head coach, Tim Burke, has done a fabulous job. He has not been empowered to make decisions for the future, but he's done a fabulous job of staying in the present and keeping his team focused. I think they can make some noise if they can win this football game.
You know what? That's a good point. And he is under very difficult circumstances with a tough media and tough fan base out there in Winnipeg in a season that's not gone well. He's really handled himself quite well, hasn't he? He hasn't gone off, hasn't popped off in the media or anything like that.
Consistent
so
poise.
We'll see how he wraps it up. Schultz,
yes.
1972, how old were you?
12, why?
Did you go to the Grey Cup?
No, I watched it on TV, though.
It was in Hamilton. Very memorable because the Ticats won it.
The Tiger Cats from Hamilton, the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Grey Cup 1972. Rookie Ian Southern will attempt a 34-yard field goal. It's good. Hamilton 13, Saskatchewan 10.
I want to thank all of Canada for giving me the opportunity in this country. I love the Hamilton fans, and I sure appreciate it.
The freedom and spirit of Malibu is an awesome place to be. Introducing the all-new 2013 Chevrolet Malibu Eco. Sophisticated new styling and the fuel-saving intelligence of eAssist that uses fuel when you need it and preserves it when you don't, all while offering remarkable highway fuel efficiency. The all-new 2013 Chevrolet Malibu Eco has everything to put you in the Malibu state of mind. Chevrolet, driving our world forward.
Whoa. What do you got there?
Berry pomegranate Mio.
Berry pomegranate what?
Berry pomegranate Mio.
Do I just squirt a little?
Or you can squirt a lot.
Mmm. Really changes your water.
It changes everything.
You can say that again. Mio. Squirt some.
The freedom and spirit of Malibu is an awesome place to be. Introducing the all-new 2013 Chevrolet Malibu Eco. Sophisticated new styling and the fuel-saving intelligence of E-Assist that uses fuel when you need it and preserves it when you don't, all while offering remarkable highway fuel efficiency. The all-new 2013 Chevrolet Malibu Eco has everything to put you in the Malibu state of mind. Chevrolet, driving our world forward.
Words that are known off by heart by every Hamiltonian. My first Grey Cup, boys, was 1985. I was 18 years old, living in Toronto, and I took the train to Montreal to watch the Ticats take on the BC Lions. I was pretty much the only Lion fan on this train, and the Oski Wee Wee chant went for, I don't know how long the train ride is, but it started at Union Station and didn't stop until we got to Montreal. It's a lot quieter on the way home, though, because the Lions won that Grey Cup. With more on this iconic chant that is synonymous with Hamilton, we bring in our very own Brian Williams. Hi, Brian.
Thank you, David. Good afternoon, everyone, and good morning to our Western viewers. Of course, again, this is the final game at Ivor Wynne Stadium, really an iconic stadium in this country. And what this stadium has lacked in architectural brilliance, it is more than made up with in character. And who better to talk about the character than the mascot named Pigskin Pete? This mascot has led an inexplicable cheer since the stadium opened. And I recently had a chance to visit with Pigskin Pete number 3. We are sitting here in the south stands, but you know, you got the north stands, the east end. Is there a particular place here you preferred to work?
Well, I've tried to get to every area and meet as many people every game as possible, but I do know them. The cheaper the seats, the more they respond to the Oski Wee Wee.
Ivor Wynne Stadium is more than a football field for Paul Weiler. It is a second home with a second family. There's another young man here called you Dad, is that right?
Yes.
But not related to you?
No. He was mentally challenged. His father or his caretaker would bring him to the game, but apparently I looked a lot like his dad, but he always come and give me a kiss, and especially towards the end, and like, "Good night, Dad," and he'd come and give me a great big kiss.
For 30 years, Weiler was Pigskin Pete. That's the black and yellow Tiger Cat mascot with that bowler hat and the unusual cheer.
Oski Wee Wee! Oski Wawa! Holy Mackinac! Tigers in round!
The original Pigskin Pete was Vince Wirtz back in the 1920s. He was followed by his son Bill. And when Bill retired in 1975, the Ticats started looking for a replacement.
I don't think you could replace Pigskin Pete with anybody and the town would accept it. Is it hokey? It's about as hokey as you can get, Pigskin Pete, but that's what makes it real.
Hi, folks. How you doing?
Paul worked in the DeFasco steel mill, and he loved to socialize. A chance encounter at a party led to an invitation to become Pigskin Pete.
Paul came home and he said to me, "Do you think I can do that?" I said, "If you don't try it, you're not going to know. So at least give it a shot and see what happens."
This is your first day on the job.
Exactly.
What were you thinking?
My stomach was doing knots. Cheers! Tonight, eh?
Paul's a person that is outstanding. I mean, he can talk to anybody. He loves people.
Hey, old guy.
Hey, how are you?
How are you?
Good.
There's nothing fake about a person from Hamilton. They're the real deal. It's a hard-working town. It's a steel town. And I think he kind of emulates that.
Tell me how you were able to combine working in the steel business and being Pigskin Pete.
Yeah, well, one thing, I don't know if I'm using the right word, enhanced the other thing, you know what I mean? Working at the FASCO did want some people of their community, always are a very community-minded organization, and they wanted somebody involved in the community, and it gave them the exposure that they wanted.
Paul became one of the most popular guys in town. Just ask his wife, June.
I had an accident. I cut my finger quite bad, and the ambulance came to pick me up. They were worried about me. Hey, Pigskin's here.
Tell me about some of the, I don't know if they're family events, just weird events you've been asked to appear at as Pigskin Pete.
I guess the oddest one, they were having a memorial service for a person. Now, the remains was not there, but it was being held at a funeral home, stuff like that there. And they'd like to have an Oski wee wee.
Now, hold it. So you're in a funeral home.
In a funeral home.
At a funeral,
home.
and you're doing an Oski wee wee.
Unbelievable.
It may be 6 years since Paul last officially led the Oski wee wee chant at Ivor Wynne. But this old park remains very much a part of him. It will be an emotional day when football surrenders to the wrecking ball. Your feelings knowing that a year from now, these seats will be long.
I know. I was thinking of taking a wrench to the last game of the season, taking my seat home with me for fond memories of this place, you know. It may be an old homestead, and you know it's got to come down someday, but it's still hard to see it go, you know. What do you say, gang? Oski wee wee, Oski wawa, holy Mackinac, Tigers in rock.
Thank you. It has been an absolute pleasure. Paul and June, absolutely great people. And guys, you've all been to this stadium. For people across the country, maybe Wrigley Field is similar. It's in a residential area. You step out, you're on people's lawns. They cut those lawns yesterday. Today, they are parking lots for the games. It'll be a new stadium on the same site, and instead of going east-west, it will now be north-south.
Absolutely fantastic. Great feature. Thank you, Brian. Come on, Milt. Let's bust one out for us. You not gonna have it?
Oski wee wee.
Big Skin Milt. You've heard it a couple of times.
Man, you're trying to get me in trouble.
I'll tell you who's heard it an awful lot. And we've talked about this over the years several times that a young Chris Schultz grew up as a Ticats fan, and you've got great memories of this stadium, don't you?
Well, here's the thing. I was born in Hamilton. I was raised right next door in Burlington. And for myself and many, Ivor Wynne's a special place. So allow me to share with you my favorite childhood memory and a couple of adult ones, too. When I was 10 years old, I came to my first Ticat game. I would sit right there in the end zone, and there used to be these massive bleachers. I would beg my mom the morning of a Ticat game for 20 bucks, because I knew with 20 bucks, I had a bus ride to the stadium, I had a hot dog, I had a drink, and I had a $2.99 ticket right there in the end zone. But this is where I really wanted to sit, right behind the Ticat bench. I couldn't afford a ticket here. I could only afford the $2.99. So here was my plan. We always had a security guard. We named him Bob. In order to get to that section, we had to get past him. So my friends and I, two on this side, me with another friend, would rush security guard Bob. We'd look at each other and we'd go, go! The thing is, he couldn't catch everybody. So if they caught him, I got the seats. But here was our ultimate plan. Remember, we were kids. So what we wanted to do is when the game was over, more than anything else, we wanted to get on the field. Why? Because it's AstroTurf. We wanted to play football on the AstroTurf. So we'd wait until the cops were looking this way, the security was looking that way. We were gone. So I made it on the field. And always the game would break out. And it seemed like it was us against the Hamilton kids. And they were tough. We would play until the cops kicked us out. And trust me, it got rough. And it was great. So move forward a couple decades. My very first game at Ivor Wynne. The beauty of Ivor Wynne is its brutality. And there was no place more brutal than center field. The paint, the Hamilton Ticat insignia, would mess with the turf. I'd put my hand on the turf, I'd go, oh my God, this is hard. This is like concrete. But man, it was beautiful. I felt like a gladiator. And from here, the final insult. As an opposing team, you had to run this gauntlet. The fans up there, they start throwing things at you, and they had great aim. Ice cubes, soft drinks, and even batteries. The batteries would hit you in the head in the helmet, and they go ping, ping, ping. My God, the noise, it didn't hurt, but that ping, I've never looked at batteries the same. I know the moment is coming. Whether it be I'm driving down Barton Street or maybe King Street, I'm gonna look over and Ivor Wynne will not be here. Yeah, I'll have the memories, a few pictures, but you know what the truth is? It will never be the same.
Very nice, Schultze. Right now at Ivor Wynne Stadium, they are introducing the all-time Ticat team. There's number 14 in your program, Danny McManus, third all-time passing leader in CFL history.
NFL on CTV, Week 8. Rookie phenom RG3 goes up against the Steel Curtain in Pittsburgh. London's calling for Tom Brady and the Patriots as they battle the Rams at Wembley. The Seahawks take on the Lions in the Motor City. And Aaron Rodgers and the Pack return to Lambeau to face the Jags. NFL on CTV, live tomorrow at 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. Check NFL.ctv.ca for game details.
Is your car ready for winter? Visit Midas for our $39 winter maintenance package and get 120 days free roadside assistance with purchase. Be safe. Trust the Midas touch.
There is nothing like the great outdoors. No thanks. Stick with my coffee in the city. I only drink from the bosom of Mother Nature. That's really weird. She gives us lakes. Wow, that is gross. Pitching a tent? 100%. Fresh air! Don't care.
City or country, the all-new Subaru XV Crosstrek crossover handles it.
Nice car. Nice beard.
Russian standard. Vodka as it should be.
So you have experience?
Yes.
Can you work weekends?
Oh, yeah.
Great. What's that?
It's a caramel apple bagel.
Caramel apple? I bet that's good.
Hello, miss.
When can you start?
Tomorrow?
How about tomorrow?
New Caramel Apple Specialty Bagel, just $1.59. Now enjoy free Wi-Fi at over 2,000 participating restaurants.
Time now to go around the league with 3 downs, and with this being the weekend of the final regular season home game at 84-year-old Ivor Wynne Stadium, it's obvious that this is going to be an all-Hamilton version of 3 downs. So let's start with the biggest and most obvious question. And this is a tough one because when you're talking all-time Ticats, you could make a list that is a mile long. But I'm going to ask you, who is your all-time Hamilton Tiger Cat? Would it be the iconic Angelo Mosca, who played in 9 Grey Cups, won 5 of them? Earl Winfield, the team's all-time leading receiver? Danny McManus, a prolific passer with many teams, including the Ticats? Or would you like to call an audible, Milt?
I'm going to call an audible and say Joe Munford, Big Swole. 135 sacks throughout his career. That's 5th in the CFL. 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, and he was the one player on defense who could change a game like a quarterback. I'm going to go with Big Swole, Joe Munford.
I am going to go right from the board. Danny McManus, 8 seasons as the Ticat quarterback. He won the Cup there in '99, same year he was MOP. 164 touchdowns as a passing as a Ticat, and over almost 34,000 yards. Easy choice for me, Danny McManus.
I'm going to call an audible and go back in history and say Bernie Filoni in the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. He won 8 Grey Cups he participated in, won 2 with the Ticats. Big part of that history.
The stadium is 84 years old. Started as Civic Stadium, renamed Ivor Wynne in 1970, but there's been a whole bunch of moments there. So I'll ask you guys, what do you think is your favorite moment at Ivor Wynne? Would it be the 1972 Grey Cup? The Ticats were in that game. In fact, they won it over Saskatchewan on this game-winning field goal by Ian Sunter. That would be option A. Would it be this Grey Cup, 96? Ticats weren't in, but everybody remembers it. Edmonton losing to Toronto, but that great catch by Eddie Brown. How about this one? 1975, a Pink Floyd concert. Apparently it was their last show of their tour, and they blew off all their remaining pyrotechnics and blew up the scoreboard in the process. Or would you like to call it Ottawa? Who's going to start with that one? Schulte, were you at that show?
Yeah, I remember that show. I wasn't at that show. I'm going to go with option A, that 72 Grey Cup. It was the first year that the Ticats had AstroTurf. For them to come in and win that game, we all thought AstroTurf determined winning and losing. 72 Grey Cup.
Well, I'm going to go with the Eddie Brown catch. I mean, 72, I was only 2 years old when Schulte was playing his first Grey Cup. I don't know much about Pink Floyd, so I definitely have to go with the Eddie Brown catch. Spectacular catch under the weather conditions.
I am going to go with Schulte's 72 Grey Cup. It's only been done as the home or host team. Hosting the Grey Cup has won it. They did it in 72. The Owls did it in 77. And BC Lions, of course, did it last year and in 1994.
Stay really is all about nostalgia when they play the last regular season home game at one of the oldest stadiums in this country. So what are you feeling with the end of Ivor Wynne Stadium? Are you feeling A, sad, end of an era, B, happy, it was a great place, we're going to celebrate it, C, it's about time, or D, Schulte, depressed because now I am old. Maddie, you start.
Ooh, yeah, well, Dave, this is a tough one for me. You know, it took my career in 96. I'm kind of happy that, you know, it's a great time, a time to reminisce, which we're doing, but I'm also kind of going to combine this too, Dave, as it's about time. So I'm happy it is about time.
Well, it's definitely about time. This stadium needs to be replaced. There's 3 stadiums in the CFL that need to be replaced. This was one of them. The one in Winnipeg and the one in Regina. It was about time. Great history made there. We all had great time there, but it was time for an upgrade. Definitely.
Well, guys, without Ivor Wynne, I'm depressed. I'm melancholy. I'm sad. I want to go home.
Because you are old. This version of 3 downs has officially worn the big man out. That is 3 downs. Game 2 of our Saturday doubleheader features the Toronto Argonauts in chilly Regina. It's going to be cold there, around -10, we're told right about now. If the Argos win, they punch their ticket to a home playoff date in the East semifinal. Meantime, Andy Fantuz and the Ticats are getting set to continue their run towards a playoff spot, but they got to win the remaining 2 games to do it.
Whoa. What do you got there?
Berry pomegranate Mio.
Berry pomegranate what?
Berry pomegranate Mio.
Do I just squirt a little?
Or you can squirt a lot.
Really changes your water.
It changes everything.
You can say that again. Mio. Squirt some.
That's the good one. Windsor System Saver 2 pellets.
Yep, that's the one. It's the water softening salt.
This is the one with those cool pellets. Dad said I gotta get the good one.
Our patented System Saver 2 pellets extends the life of your softener by up to 5 years. The unique pellets help prevent hard water spots, mineral buildups, and leave your skin and laundry softer.
You gotta get the good one. Check it out.
Windsor System Saver 2 pellets. You gotta get the good one.
Turn right. Next left. Turn right.
Introducing the all-new 2013 Lexus RX F-Sport.
Next right.
Now the journey is more exciting than the destination.
From minor repairs to major renovation,
get the expert advice you need
at Canada's largest network of lumber and building materials dealers.
During the Renovation Expert Sale.
When you buy $200 or more of Owens Corning Pink Fiberglass Insulation, get a $40 home hardware gift card.
Enter online for your chance to win a 2012 Toyota RAV4.
We are 100% Canadian owned. With expert advice.
In 1956, tragedy strikes the CFL. A plane crash takes the lives of 5 all-star players.
My grandfather could have been the greatest offensive lineman that ever touched the football field.
A family connected and torn apart by football.
This is a story about family and pain, a family trying to find itself.
Engraved on a nation, the crash.
Buck Pierce was back last week with a vengeance, and he wants these Bombers to keep it rolling. They've won 3 of their last 5, and they think they can still make the playoffs. Looking for a win today in the last regular season home game at Ivor Wynne. The Bombers are coming off their best performance of the season, scoring 44 points thanks to Buck Pierce and an explosive ground game. The Ticats are ice cold. They haven't won in a month. Today, both teams face playoff elimination in the last regular season game at Ivor Wynne Stadium.
A lot of talk about Henry Burris, 37 touchdown passes to 16 interceptions. The only stat he's worried about is his team's 5-11 record. He's hoping to improve that to 6-11 today.
Guys, this is Chris Williams, 5'9", a massive 155 pounds, leads the CFL with 14 touchdowns. One more, he ties the franchise record with 15.
Chad Simpson, the spark plug for the Bombers. With all the ups and downs the Bombers have gone through, Chad has been the one constant, rushing for over 1,000 yards in only 13 games. And with today's weather, they're going to have to lean on Chad big time.
Yes, indeed. It is a soggy one, Milton Hamilton, and the loser of this game faces a scary offseason. Halloween right around the corner. Hi, everybody. Dave Randolph, Milt Stiegel, Matt Dunnigan, and Chris Schultz. Game 1 of our Saturday doubleheader later today. It's Toronto at Regina, but the BC Lions, they know exactly where they're going to be in the West. The Montreal Alouettes are first place in the East. These two teams want to join the party, but the bottom line is, if they lose, they are out of the running to get a playoff spot. Losing is not an option. No. It's quite simple. What do you expect to see from either one of these teams?
Well, I expect Henry Burris to come out and have a great game. And he's been putting up great numbers all year, but like Matt said before, the bottom line is they haven't won games, and Henry Burris is going to will his team to a victory. I don't care if their defense gives up 60 points. Henry Burris is telling that offense, we're going to score 61 points and find a way to win this game.
I expect the Bombers go right back to Chad Simpson and Will Ford and pound it. That offensive line took control last week against Toronto. I expect them to do that against a very vulnerable defense, the Hamilton Ticats. Those big boys will roll once again today.
You know, guys, there's no reason why the Ticats can't score points when you look at Winnipeg on defense. They have a defensive tackle that's playing a defensive end. They also have their 5th strong side linebacker. They're taking their defensive backs, making them linebackers. It really is time that they design plays to take advantage of mismatches. Could this be the game? They have to outscore Winnipeg.
And they have to break a trend because Winnipeg has had Hamilton's number. They have beaten them 6 straight times, including last year in the East Final, a game that was played in Winnipeg. There's high hopes for the Ticats coming into this season. Now they're just trying to scrape their way into the postseason. We got the kickoff coming up from Ivor Wynne Stadium next.
Now it's your chance to try the hottest selling hair removal product in the world. It's not a razor, it's not a laser, it's not waxing, it's No-No from Radiancy. The long-lasting hair removal breakthrough that gives you no hair with no pain.
I don't have to worry about my mustache coming through or my sideburn, and that's all because of No-No.
No-No painlessly removes embarrassing facial hair. It's perfect for your legs and bikini line, and it works great for men too. No-No was voted Product of the Year in the US and has become a worldwide sensation with over 2 million customers in 50 countries. No-No's patented Thermocon technology delivers a gentle pulse of heat over the skin to immediately remove and crystallize the hair for long-lasting results. Want proof? On the left you see a patch of hair before No-No. The middle pictures show the same hair after being treated twice a week for 6 weeks. Look what happened when it was left untreated for an additional 6 weeks. Almost no hair came back, and what does is finer and thinner.
I don't see it coming back for weeks, and with shaving, I will see it the next morning.
It's easy to use, no irritation, and the hair stays away for weeks.
Call now and we'll rush you everything you need to get rid of your unwanted hair. Specially designed Thermocon tips for your face and body, buffer pads and No-No smooth cream to give your skin that polished glow. Plus this bonus travel case. And get this, you can try No-No risk-free for not 30 days, but 60 days with a triple guarantee. If you're not 100% satisfied, return it and we'll refund the purchase price, refund the shipping, and even pay the return postage. This means that there is no risk to try No-No today.
Call 1-800-471-8572 to try No-No risk-free for 60 days. That's 1-800-471-8572 or visit trynono.tv.
Ever change your car's cabin air filter?
My what?
When your vents are on, the air inside your car could be 6 times dirtier than the air outside. See?
Gary, the babies.
That's why Canadian Tire stocks Fram Fresh Breeze cabin air filters. They remove up to 98% of dirt, dust, and pollen. And the Arm & Hammer baking soda helps eliminate odor.
Thanks.
Sorry I broke into your car. If your car needs it, Canadian Tire's got it.
Not only does Zero Water remove a little red wine from water, it removes virtually all dissolved solids. Because conventional filters like Brita only have 1 or 2 stages, and Zero Water has 5. Now available at major retailers.
Sherry Woods of Winnipeg. You could win a 2013 Nissan Altima if a kickoff is returned for a touchdown in today's game, thanks to Safeway's Touchdown to Win promotion. And if a second kickoff is returned, you could win $1 million. Off we go to Ivor Wynne Stadium. For the call today, here's Chris Cuthbert and Glenn Suter.
Thank you, David. End of an era. The final countdown for Ivor Wynne Stadium. Friendliest sightlines, most intimidating atmosphere. And a very important game on the road to the 100th Grey Cup, an elimination game for the Hamilton Tiger Cats and Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And if the home side needed any more inspiration as they were introduced, they come out to a ring of the all-time great Hamilton Tiger Cat team.
The current edition, the 2012 edition of this Tiger team, surrounded by the Hamilton legends. And guys like Joe Mumford had his game face on as he shook the hands of each one of the current players. There's Big Angelo Mosco saying, go get him. I think they're in the presence of greatness right now. They want to do the legends proud.
There's George Cortez, who never liked the term must win, but he acknowledges this is indeed a must win for his team. Still a shot at second place in the East if they can run the table and get some help. And Tim Burke's team also can still qualify for the postseason, needing 2 wins and hoping to extend a win streak to 7 consecutive head-to-head against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. We're in the home of Mosca, Barrow, Filoni, Zuger, Zambiazzi, Montford, Covington, McManus, and Flutie. Final regular season game, the 503rd for the Hamilton Tiger Cats since moving here in 1950. Luka Kanji kicks it off, and away we go. Johnny Sears on the run. Up across the 30, takes a heavy jolt from Mark Beswick. Sears shake it up on the opening kickoff last week against Toronto, and Beswick, the leading special teams man. But here's Buck Pierce in this Winnipeg offense. the best in the CFL over the last 5 weeks.
Well, and their run game has all of a sudden arrived with Chad Simpson, 136 yards rushing a week ago in the win versus the Toronto Argonauts. Buck Pierce is 12-2 when he plays the entire game in those 14 starts. 12-2, including last week's win. And Terrence Edwards poised for his 5th 1,000-yard season, just 11 yards away.
Starters to watch, brought to you by Rona, proud partner of the Canadian Football League and its 8 teams. They'll fake to Simpson on the first play, and he looks deep downfield for Edwards, and well covered. Bo Smith is back in the Hamilton lineup. First game for him since August the 9th, and in good coverage there.
And he's one of the guys we're going to watch as the starters for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. 11 games missed by Bo Smith. He's back in that secondary. Markeith Knowlton in the linebacking core for his 2nd start after missing a ton of games due to injury as well. And there's Ray Williams, who ranks 3rd in the CFL with 87 tackles.
Ticat team with a season high 4 interceptions against Calgary in the snow last week. 2nd and 10 for Pierce and the Bombers. Pocket collapses, Pierce steps up, a lot of running room, and he hits the deck. First down, does take a hit. Bo Smith moving up again from his defensive halfback spot, but an 11-yard run for Buck Pierce.
Well, you got to feel that these Hamilton defenders are pumped up. It's been a tough season on the defensive side of the ball for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, both against the run and throughout this entire year, but with those legends in attendance, I have a feeling this Hamilton defense may play their best game, because that's what the history of this franchise is all about. Tough defensive football.
First down for the Bombers, looking for their initial first drive touchdown of the season. And a pass incomplete for Chris Matthews. They have been better of late in the opening quarter. In fact, put up 14 against the Argos last week in the first quarter.
Yeah, 458 net yards, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in that game. That's their best performance in 2012. When you're looking at overall yardage, including 260 along the ground. And they haven't gone to that run game yet in this first series, but you know they will, other than Buck running.
Again, looking at 2nd and 10. Converting over 60% in the last 2 weeks on 2nd down, and Pierce into the flat, incomplete. Intended for Matthews, but Jeff Tisdale nearly had the pick.
Chris Matthews over 1,000 yards on the season after 16 games. Sort of sat on this out and waited for the football to come to him rather than take a step back and try and cut Jeff Tisdale off. He had a nice jump and a knockdown on the play.
So Mike Renaud to kick. And the ball will, on a hop, bounce into the hands of Chris Williams. Stumbled with a bit of a crease, and he is dropped at the 45-yard line.
Wouldn't it be cool if we took the already great Sentra apart and completely reimagined it with best-in-class combined fuel economy? If it had front and rear LED lamps and a technology suite with Bluetooth, navigation, and other handy stuff. Yeah, that would be cool. Introducing the all-new Nissan Sentra. It's our most innovative Sentra ever. Nissan, innovation that excites.
You have the passports?
Yeah. Where are you off to today?
Italy. Airport.
The new Scotiabank Gold American Express card lets you earn travel rewards up to 4 times faster. You're richer than you think. Scotiabank.
Hi, I'm Zoe.
Zoe, show us your game face.
I lost my leg in an accident. Now I'm a safety ambassador. Today I'm learning about football with the Argos. Football's not that tough. It's gonna be like my game. Whatever game you play, play safe. A message from the Rams.
The CFL on TSN is brought to you by Nissan. Innovation that excites.
Chris Williams looking for a team-tying 15th touchdown and had an open crease. I mean, a wide open crease to hit that punt return. Just stumbled on his own, or probably gets 15 right on that play.
Had a touchdown return last night by Tim Brown, 13 for the season. Burris looking downfield, and Bakari Grant incomplete as Burris threw behind the open target.
It's been a big year numbers-wise for Henry Burris. Doesn't show in the win column, but it's certainly at 4,700 yards and 37 touchdowns, his best season since 2008. There's the 14 touchdowns and counting for Chris Williams. Needs 15 to tie that team record. Andy Fantu struggled, has missed a couple of games due to injury, but should get to 1,000 yards.
2nd and 10, a quick jump by Fern Kashama, the right defensive end for the Bombers.
Gone through some changes up front. No Jason Vega in the lineup. No Alex Hall, who leads their team in sacks in the lineup.
Offside, Winnipeg, number 56. 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
Just the cadence. Cadence call there from Henry Burris to draw the Winnipeg Blue Bombers offside early on. So for more manageable 2nd down.
It's an injury-riddled offensive line for Hamilton, a defensive line for the Bombers. 2nd and 5, the pass intended for Fantus, and Javon Johnson on the scene for the Bombers.
Now that ball just a little bit behind him, and Henry Burris and this Hamilton Tiger Cat team should be accustomed to adverse conditions. Last week in a snowstorm in Calgary. Of course, we all saw how that ended, and Andy Fantus did not get the football on the tee the last play of the game.
So no completions by the 2 quarterbacks in the opening series. And the Bartell punt bouncing down inside the 20-yard line, and Johnson steps out. And they'll mark him at the 18, 43-yard punt. Bomber football when we come back.
Shop at Safeway and play Safeway $1 Million Touchdown to win. You could win $1 million if 2 kickoffs are returned for touchdowns during the same game. You could also win a men's Bulova Precisionist watch with stainless steel case and leather strap. Bulova Precisionist, the world's most accurate timepiece with a continuously sweeping second hand. Or a voice-activated Garmin Nuvi 2595 LMT GPS with a 5-inch display and powerful navigation features. Shop and play at Safeway.
This was so worth it. So how'd you guys get out?
Why did he pick her?
Oh, we're good.
Captain Morgan. Got what it takes to be a captain? We build tires, but not like anybody else. We build our tires for people. People with places to go and reasons to get there. Now get up to a $75 reward for buying 4 qualifying Cooper tires during our Take the Money and Ride event. Get your reward form and complete terms and conditions at a participating Cooper Tire dealer or coopertire.ca. Cooper Tire proudly supports heroes, helping children in Canada through hockey. Life's a road trip. Come on, let's go.
So much history in this 84-year-old building, and with more on that, here's Catherine Dolan.
Well, Chris, it's really hard to believe it is the end of an era here at Ivor Wynne. The original stadium was called Civic Stadium. It was built in 1928, and basically it was built to host the British Empire Games in 1930, which later became known as the Commonwealth Games. It was Canada's first major international athletic event ever, and it held just over 2,000 seats, so certainly a lot has changed in that time. Chris?
There's the Olympic champion of 1928, Percy Williams, so they had a headliner right from the get-go. Pressure on Pierce, who dumps it off. And there's Terrence Edwards with a short gain. Edwards, who arrived at Ivor Wynne yesterday in a walking boot, looked like he was more likely to ski today than play.
Of course, the Ticats took over or became the permanent tenant here in 1950. The stadium was expanded, the second facility in Canada after Empire Stadium in Vancouver, to have the new AstroTurf, as Chris Schultz mentioned.
So it was built for the British Empire games, and it will close to make way for a new stadium for the Pan Am games. Second down. Buck Pierce underneath. There's Edwards again, stretching across the 25, but he'll be short of the first down.
Interesting, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, their first two series have really not gone to Chad Simpson and tried to establish that ground game they've done so well over the last few weeks. And one of the reasons that they're still alive in the playoff hunt.
And Alex Brink was in on that series, and we'll watch the Bomber bench to find out if Buck Pierce is okay. He did take off on that 11-yard run and took a hit.
Last week, Alex Brink had a running type Wildcat series designed for him. He had 10 carries.
Renault is boot, and Williams muffed it through his hands, but out of touch. And again, Hamilton, pretty good field position for their second possession start.
Wouldn't it be cool if we took the already great Sentra apart and completely reimagined it with best-in-class combined fuel economy? If it had front and rear LED lamps and a technology suite with Bluetooth, navigation, and other handy stuff. Yeah, that would be cool. Introducing the all-new Nissan Sentra. It's our most innovative Sentra ever. Nissan, innovation that excites.
Some people say I'm stuck in the past, but I'm just keeping the good times rolling. And if those good times started rolling in 1981, I say rock on. All I know is, when you want things to last, you gotta maintain.
Hey, Jerry! So why don't you turn me loose? Turn me loose!
Keep that new car feeling longer. Top to bottom maintenance from Mr. Lube. Take good care.
At the Coors Light Brewing Company, we are often asked, what makes Coors Light? Coors Light. Do we age it cold and fill it cold? Yes, sir. Do we brew it below 0 degrees Celsius? You betcha. Did we come up with a way for your beer to tell you when it's the perfect cold drinking temperature? Absolutely. And would we serve it to you in delicious slow motion? I think we just did. Coors Light. Who wants a cold one?
Closed captioning is brought to you by Gibson's 100th Grey Cup commemorative whiskey. Available now in limited supply at local liquor stores. And we'll allay any fears of Buck Pierce. That was part of their planned option that we did see against the Argos last week. Alex Brink in for that second down play. And now Henry Burris goes back to work. And a handoff left side. Avon Coburn leads the league in rushing per game in his ninth start, up across the 50 to the 52-yard line, and a gain of 5.
Yeah, it's that time of year where the run game becomes that much more important, and winning first down becomes important because in bad weather conditions, in tough weather conditions, you get in second and long and you have to throw the ball 15 yards, makes it that much more difficult for the quarterbacks to be accurate. So you want to win first down, and that's where the run game comes in for both these teams.
So second and short, and that pattern broken up on the corner. Dion Beasley with the knockdown, and there is a flag on the play in the Bombers secondary.
Looked like the timing was good by Beasley.
Pass interference. Winnipeg. 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
I thought that the timing was real good from Dion Beasley on the corner, who was covering Chris Williams and got the knockdown. That may have been away from the play.
So it's the first down of the game for the Tiger Cats, and Javon Walker, play action fake to him, and a Dump pass for Ivor Coburn. And another first down inside the 35-yard line as the Ticats deploy the two backs, and Coburn has a 13-yard gain.
It just gets outside here with this little play action from Henry Burris. Avon Coburn starts out here. You got both he and Siobhan Walker in the backfield together. So the fake to Walker up the middle, that's how Coburn gets outside. And then a pretty hard hit here from Alex Suber. Stand him straight up.
So first down inside the 35-yard line. Here comes the pressure, and they just dump it off. Daryl Stevenson, the fullback and former Bomber, has another first down inside the Bomber 20-yard line. 14 for Daryl Stevenson, his 6th catch of the year.
Interesting formation for Hamilton. They'll bring Andy Fantus in and line him up as a tight end to block and give a little bit more time for Burris off that edge. There's Andy Fantus right here. So he widens the offensive line that side, and then play action to the tight end side to Avon Coburn, out to the fullback in a tendency breaking play.
First down, short drop for Burris, and a crosser with Williams for a record-tying touchdown. On this final regular season day at Ivor Wynne, Chris Williams has matched the Ticat touchdown record with his 15th of the year.
Crossing route to use Chris Williams' speed. Henry Burris dumps it down to him and lets him take it from there, get the corner. Great speed, will not be caught by Marcellus Bowman. And that's number 15 on the season, which ties a Hamilton Tiger Cat record. Tony Champion, Ron Williams did it twice.
Extra point spotted by Fantus and put through by Kanji. Chris Williams' 9th touchdown catch. Ticat lead.
Strip away the rugged design. Strip away the utility track, the spray-on bedliner, cargo system, and even the satellite radio. You know what's left? The North American-built Nissan F-Alpha truck frame. The ruggedly capable Frontier NV Titan. Nissan, innovation that excites.
From minor repairs
to major renovation.
Get the expert advice you need
at Canada's largest network of lumber and building materials dealers.
during the Renovation Expert Sale.
When you buy $200 or more of Owens Corning pink fiberglass insulation, get a $40 home hardware gift card. Enter online for your chance to win a 2012 Toyota RAV4.
We are 100% Canadian owned. With expert advice.
Here's Chris Williams with the touchdown that has given the Ticats an early lead here midway through the first quarter.
And there it is on the list. Ronald Williams did it in 1999 and 2000. And of course, Tony Champion in 1989, not only with 15 regular season touchdown catches for Champion that year, but also one of the best catches in the history of this game in the 1989 Grey Cup game.
Interesting receiving race developing as well as we entered this weekend of play. Williams within 39 yards of top spot. Chris Matthews is also within reach. A little problem for Dion Beasley, and it gets a little worse, and a flag flies as Beasley's dropped at the 20-yard line. Johnny Sears returned the opening kickoff, not out that time, and he has not been in the defensive set at the Sam linebacker spot for Winnipeg.
On the return, holding, Winnipeg, number 10, half the distance to the goal, first down.
So Enoch Mwamba flagged, and a deeper start for Winnipeg.
Chris Williams is going to run this crossing route, and Marcellus Bowman's going to step out, and he's got to try and front him. and get his hands on him and contact him, because if he gets in a chase like this, Hamilton Tiger Cats will go back to this play as often as they possibly can. That's a matchup Williams will win all the time. Bowman can step in and eliminate it, but he's got to be physical.
Bombers have won 5 straight against the Ticats, 6 in a row if you include the Eastern Final last year. And a bit of a hole here, and there's Chad Simpson up to the 15-yard line, wrestled down by Ray Williams.
I mentioned that, of course, Chris Williams tying Tony Champion in 1989, and it's worth showing one more time. I don't get enough of seeing this, even though I was on the other team at the time. One of the greatest catches in Canadian Football League history, with broken ribs in the Grey Cup Championship in '89, and had 15 touchdowns that year, just tied today by Chris Williams.
You had too good a view of that.
You're right about that, Phil.
2nd and 5, they fake to Simpson, and Fortin can't bring down Pierce, and the pass is complete. Buck Pierce to Clarence Denmark, and a clutch first down play for the Bombers.
Clutch for a couple of reasons. One is that Buck Pierce gets outside and just stays out of harm's way with his speed and throws full speed on the run with accuracy. But the Bombers have to get out of this field position hole they're in with conditions like this. And that's why this is such an important play. Another set of downs.
Buck 10 and 4 in his career against Hamilton, 5 and 2 here at Ivor Wynne. From the 26, first down, long out, too high for Matthews.
So I mentioned off the top that the Winnipeg Blue Bombers last week, 43 rushing attempts, 260 yards rushing. Chad Simpson, 136 of them, and almost a 7-yard average. It's pouring rain in late October, and he's not been very busy. I'm not sure I get that.
Trying to stay loose. 134 and 86 in his 2 starts against Hamilton. 2nd and 10. Pressure on. Buck hit hard. Ball loose and in the end zone. It's Greg Peach. Touchdown.
And Buck Pierce.
Arm is hanging.
Yeah. You got that feeling that this Hamilton defense may play their best game when they went in the center and were surrounded by the legends of this football team. Guys like Joe Mumford.
Brandon Boudreau with the hit and the forced fumble. Scoop and score for Greg Peach. And when they introduced the all-time, now that we're going to get a challenge, Tim Burke with what is probably a good idea here with a touchdown on the board, at least make them have another look to see if Buck Pierce was in the act of throwing.
Well, and on a scoring play, they should review it anyway.
The previous play is under review by the command center.
So he doesn't have to use the challenge flag, but
that's right. That
done at least to slow things up here and make sure they take one more look.
Brandon Boudreau comes off the top edge here. He's going to make the hit. Ends up gone in a little bit of an inside move, then straight up the field, and the arm going forward. But was he clutching it and bringing it back, try and get possession, or was he actually trying to release a pass on that forward motion? But every scoring play is reviewed back to the snap.
In hindsight, maybe Buck could have just let that get away, but it almost seemed like more of a double clutch than an attempted pass. I was going to say, when they introduced the all-time great Hamilton Tiger Cat team, this is the one franchise that the last guys are not the quarterbacks or the star running backs or the receivers. The last guys introduced the front four. And so it seems fitting that the Ticat front four would make a huge play on this day at Ivor Wynne.
Well, that's been a defense that's gone through a tough year, as I mentioned, but I just had that feeling they'd want to make those legends proud this afternoon. It's a lot of football to be played here this afternoon, but this defense off to the best start I've seen them play pretty much all year.
Saw a touchdown defensively last night on a similar play in Calgary by Malik Jackson. We'll wait and find out if this is confirmed as initially ruled as a fumble and a Hamilton defensive touchdown.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. It was a fumble. It was a touchdown.
So the ruling being that Buck Pierce wasn't trying to release a pass there. He went to throw and then tried to double clutch it, bring it back, and get it under control. And as he was doing that, it was knocked loose. Greg Peach gets the touchdown. The Hamilton Tiger Cats off to a 2-possession lead early.
And the extra point is good, and it's a quick start for the Tiger Cats here. Not even 9 minutes gone. And we'll find out if Buck Pierce is able to come right back. He looked like he was feeling the effects of that huge hit from Brandon Boudreau.
Brandon Boudreau is going to go one-on-one here on Shannon Boatman and just kind of keep working his way inside. Boatman lost his leverage and was fighting to try and recover. Buck Pierce took a look, felt the pressure coming, and then tried to reel the football back in, put it underneath his arm, but he didn't get there in time, and Greg Peach has himself a touchdown.
Again, the Tiger Cats with a win here and an Argo loss in Saskatchewan would set up a battle for second place next week. Both teams can still finish third with 2 wins to end the season if the Eskimos were to lose their final 2. Once again, Dion Beasley on the return. And he gets pushed back once again. And he'll be surrounded at about the same spot he returned the last one, at around the 20-yard line.
There are 2 teams playing at different levels of intensity right now. I mean, Buck Pierce is trying to scrap it out here, but right now the jump is with the Ticats. At their level of intensity slightly higher. Last home game at Ivor Wynne. Great football players from the past, watching them here this afternoon. And right now it's the Bombers have got to try and find a way to match that intensity.
Bombers winning on the road in Montreal and Toronto, and trying to make it 3 consecutive away from Canadians. Flag down, and this play doesn't get off. Will Ford in the backfield.
Will Ford had nice 85 yards against Toronto a week ago.
Procedure. Winnipeg, number 60. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Shannon Boatman flagged on the play, the right tackle. And you're right, I think the biggest surprise is how the Bombers have started offensively without utilizing a ground game, especially when you consider that the Ticats are last in the league against the run. First and 15, hands it off here. And Chad Simpson ducked underneath, and pretty decent gain up across the 20. Now, the Ticats were quite pleased with the way Terrence Moore and Torrey Davis, the defensive tackles, played last week against Calgary, and they shut down the run of the Calgary Stampeders last week.
Well, as Chad Simpson come on, though, the guy is over 1,000 yards, 4th running back 2012 to hit the 1,000-yard mark, and the reason he's done it is because of that kind of second effort.
Ray Williams yesterday called him the best running back in the CFL. Second and long, they escaped to him, and Terrence Edwards couldn't stretch out to grab that. And Bo Smith again in the area, and the Ticats felt that his return would be extremely helpful to their defense.
Well, veteran. You get Bo Smith back there, a guy with 5 years experience.
Last week, Markeith Knowlton, and suddenly you've got the defense in Hamilton that they had hoped to start the season with.
Jamal Johnson away who's not playing here this afternoon, but get him back and a chance to keep their hopes alive. You never know. Defense looks a lot better with those guys in it.
It needs a big punt. Line drive. Williams near midfield. Trying to get outside, and look at Enoch Mwamba track him down and limit the return to 4 after just a 34-yard punt. But the Ticats will start on the Bombers' side of half.
Enoch Mwamba, by the way, starting at middle linebacker and leads the team with special teams tackles. Another good one there. And now looks to get the signal to try and stop Henry Burris, who's off to a 3-for-5 start. And Mwamba makes a tackle on one of the best, if not the best, punt returner in the CFL, and Chris Williams. All due respect to Chad Owens. But that's a great special teams tackle. Then line up and play in the middle of that defense.
Injured Bomber Pierre-Luc Labbé, another special teams demon and middle linebacker, shaken up and needs some assistance to the sidelines.
Well, after the special teams coverage, Mwamba almost went to the sideline almost to get a one-play rest, and that's where Pierre-Luc Labbé would come in. But he saw him down on one knee, gives a thumbs up that he'll be back and okay.
So the Ticats back to work, trying to expand the lead. A pitch left side, Coburn down to the 49, and a gain of 4.
You talked about the changes in the Bomber defensive line. Brian Turner becomes the veteran in there. He's got 6 sacks on the season. Javon Johnson started at linebacker, although we may see some Johnny Sears there as well. And there's Enoch Mwamba in the middle of the defense at middle linebacker. And just the outstanding special teams play all year long. One of the leaders in forced fumbles in the Canadian Football League.
Right now, though, Javon Johnson back at the Sam linebacker spot. After moving back to his familiar corner, they have pressure on Burris. Scrambling around, it does dump it off. And Coburn upended at the 42-yard line, but he has the first down.
Little playground ball for Henry Burris just to try and keep this play alive. And sometimes as its pocket starting to collapse, that's what you have to do to just try and extend the down, try and extend the chains and keep it alive. Finds Avon Coburn over the middle. And there is Johnny Sears with Javon Johnson, both playing in the linebacking core.
First down. And they fake to Williams, look downfield and incomplete. Trying to hook up with Dave Stala. And Burris and Stala not quite on the same page.
Well, yeah, it looked like Dave Stala was running more of a seam type corner down the hash mark, and Henry Burris tried to throw him to almost an out and bring him back to the football a little bit. By the time that Stala made the adjustment, it was too late.
2nd and 10 from the 42. Stala waggling to the strong side. And now they go this way. Coburn has to make a man miss, puts his head down, and is dropped at the 33-yard line. This is going to be close. Be about a yard short of the first down. And the fans
already trying to
don't waste any time giving George Cortez some assistance with the play call.
Well, and he's sending in the field goal team, and the fans are not happy with that one. He's about a yard.
Didn't get a measurement. It looks like a full yard, and because they didn't get a measurement, likely maybe a yard and a half away. So Kanji from 40 mentioned last week on his miss that he got out and couldn't find the 7-yard mark in the snow, and there was a little bit of confusion, and one of the reasons he missed. And now some problems on the spot again, shades of a week ago. And a miss for Luka Kanji, and a flag in the end zone as the single point will be surrendered. But this is too familiar with last week.
Ian Logan and Andy Fentus talking it over as they go to the sideline, and it looked like Fentus again last week. He had a very catchable snap, and it slipped off the back. This time it looks like he just loses the handle Again, a snap that's right in the target zone and then tries to scramble it around. Now the timing is off.
No yards. Hamilton, number 52. That penalty is declined. Single point scored on the play. First down.
That's the special teams coach Jim Daly talking to Fantuz, trying to get his confidence back, because here was last week as it slipped off the back. Again, a real catchable snap that Fantuz does in his sleep. And whether there was ice on the tee or just the angle to which he tried to bring the ball back and put it on the tee that affected it, that was the last play of the game. Calgary wins because they don't attempt what is a chip shot for Luka Kanji.
So a break for the Bombers, and now Joey Elliott is in at quarterback. Elliott in to try and get things going. 400 yards, 406 against Hamilton in his first CFL start, and a completion of Clarence Denmark.
Well, Buck Pierce walked off with his right arm hanging, and he's got his pads off on that sideline as they put ice on his shoulder pads. We talked about in his 27 starts as a Bomber, 14 times he's gone the distance and is 12-2 during that time. Doesn't look like he's playing anytime soon now. He's got the shoulder pads off and the ice on that shoulder.
Pierce does 2 for 7 on the day as Elliott on second down hands it off, and here's Denmark on the end around. He's got a field, and he does get the first down. A 7-yard run for Clarence Denmark.
Brandon Brodeur was hit him off the edge. Let's take one more look at that hit. Boudreau coming up, and then the hit there as he's trying to pull it back. He almost turned himself and opened up his back and his shoulder to that shot. And you can see he just can't lift his right arm.
First down at the 47. The hitter looking for Isaac Anderson, and incomplete.
Like Joey Elliott really locked into that short side, and that's the Bo Smith side. He and Jeff Tisdale have been playing the short side of the field. The quicker throw, but look at how Joey Elliott locks in from the start of the snap when he received the football, and there's 3 defenders in the area. That's lucky he didn't get that intercepted.
Second and 10. Simpson releases. It's a long end for Popla, and he can't reach it. Incomplete. Another tough opening quarter for the Bombers.
This ball just pulls Kito Popla back away from the line of scrimmage. And even if he turns around and has a chance to catch that, turns around, he's got defenders right in his chili. So you're right, a slow start for this Bomber offense.
Here's Renault's boot. And Williams stuffed on the return as he crosses the 35-yard line. That's the end of the opening quarter on the final regular season game at Ivor Wynne.
It's hard to meet that special someone these days. Those online dating sites are all the same. You make a profile and the computer matches you with a bunch of pictures. But then I discovered LifeMates, and it changed our lives.
I had the same problems. I tried online dating for over a year, and it wasn't for me. I was looking for someone I can trust, someone real. LifeMates met with me in person. I told them what I was looking for, and they did the rest.
LifeMates gave me what I couldn't find on my own.
Each other.
Call or visit us online today. You have nothing to lose and a LifeMate to gain.
I thought a drink would magically solve all my problems.
I thought it would give me courage.
I thought I was only hurting myself.
If alcohol has lost its magic for you and you can't stop drinking.
I took action and my life has changed.
Now I have friends that accept me for me.
I've stopped hurting the people that I love.
You'll find us in the phone book, your local newspaper, or on the web. Alcoholics Anonymous.
Tomorrow, Edmonton's playoff push continues. The math is simple. Win, they're in. But the Esks face a tall order, winning in Montreal, where the East Division champs look to keep rolling at home. The stage is set. Can the Esks upset Calvillo and the boys in their biggest game of the season?
Calvillo again, and a touchdown!
The road to the 100th Grey Cup continues. Eskimos, Alouettes, tomorrow at 1. CFL on TSN.
Well, there are the numbers. Doesn't look like a 15-0 game statistically.
No, it was a defensive touchdown for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and the concern for Winnipeg right now is the health of Buck Pierce. And we've said that before. They've used 3 quarterbacks already in the first quarter.
Well, this was the scene prior to the game. They introduced the all-time Hamilton Ticat team, and the quarterback, Danny McManus, joins us now. Played in a college stadium where what capacity was 85,000. Wonder if they were as passionate and as intimidating as the 30,000 that show up at Ivor Wynne.
It's always great to come back to Ivor Wynne. The fans are what players play for, and to come back here to see these guys, especially the last game that's here. This is such a special place. I only had 8 years here, but being with this group of guys, it was unbelievable.
Best memory playing at Ivor Wynne. Is there a game or a play? Or
Oh, it's got to be the 98 East final when Ozzie kicking that field goal. Everybody was leaving the stands. All of a sudden he makes it, and then everybody starts coming back to the stands. So it was just a great day.
Let's take a look at that play, and I got a question for you. You had one more play. You hand it off for 3 yards and make the guy kick 54. Why didn't you pass one more time to get it a little closer?
Well, he said he was already in his range. He only wanted to get down to that around the 47. I looked down and said, okay, we're at the 47, we're good. So I said he could make it from here. So I put him to the test, and he put it right through the pipes.
Well, you brought Dave Ritchie to his knees. That was an unforgettable moment indeed. You said it's been great to be around all of the dream team for the Ticats the last few days.
It's been great. Even down in the tunnel while we were waiting to come out, just the smack talk between Earl Winfield and Les Brown and John Barrow and Ange Mosca saying that we would never score against them, and Winfield saying, I'm running nothing but outs and goes because I don't want to go near Hitchcock. So it was neat. It was just a great feeling down there.
Danny, let me ask you about what you've seen from Henry Burris this year with such great numbers and yet the win-loss record. Has you ever seen a year where quarterbacks had numbers like this and not enough wins?
No, just the numbers that he has, you would expect to be more wins out there. He's putting up some great numbers, but the game is always determined on 3 or 4 plays, and those 3 or 4 plays we just haven't been making the plays. It's not Henry's, I think it's everybody as a team just haven't been making those plays from the Ticats. So those are the situations you look at, you look back and say if things would have been different, then the record would be different, and that's the big thing with Henry. He doesn't press too much.
Hey, I wanted to ask you about that 99 season and what a great year you had that year, and maybe the relationship that you had with the late Ron Lancaster was almost the perfect matchup to have you playing quarterback for the Little General.
Oh, it was great because Ronnie played the position, and he knew what we go through each play, each week, and just to have us go out there and just have fun. He knew if we weren't smiling and laughing, we weren't going to play well. So he said, go out there and enjoy yourself, and we did. We had a great time and put some points on the board and got some wins.
Porter plunging flags come down on that 3rd and inches play, and I couldn't help but think this week Ron Lancaster would have loved this weekend, wouldn't he have
Ronnie would have been right in the middle and had everybody around him telling stories and stuff.
Offside.
He would have loved it.
Number 97, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Offside call against the Bombers gives Hamilton a new first down, but this is about Ivor Wynne, and obviously not the fanciest building that you've ever played in, and we won't get into the Henry Burris shower story we heard yesterday. The facility's not the best, but something about this place that is special, and it's probably the fans and how close they are to the stadium, the dugout, or to the field. The dugouts are unique.
Exactly. I mean, just those fans right on top of you was just a special feeling. You got to hear about these guys. These guys are educated fans. I mean, when I was a visitor, I learned more about my mom on the visitor side. But when I became a Ticat, I mean, my mom was good, so everything worked out fine. But
I hear you there.
It was just unbelievable. And Suits, you've been in that visitor locker room. Usually on game day, like players, you want to get here 4 hours early. But when you play at Ivor Wynne as a visitor, you come here 2 hours on the dot. You don't want to be here any earlier than you have to.
Well, and then most of the visitors are always mingling right in the end zone there. They're not actually in the locker room, almost changing outside.
Exactly.
Big play by Brian Turner, forcing 2nd and long. Burris over the middle, and that's too far for Dave Stala. Incomplete. And a punt situation upcoming for Hamilton.
What stories are we missing, Danny, that you can bring to the table here? Because I know there's a ton of them. And I want to talk about a little 2-year chemistry with one of the best matchups with you and Darren.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a great chemistry. I mean, that's the thing, that he was like another quarterback on the field for me, and it was a great advantage to have him in the huddle. So not only him, but Morielli, Grigg, all those guys, they just did a great job getting open.
I saw him here too as well. Well, it's a great afternoon, and thanks for joining us.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Thanks to Danny McManus, the all-time Tiger Cat quarterback. Good return by Javon Johnson. Bomber football.
The world's smallest 4-seater has a Pioneer 6-speaker audio system with Bluetooth technology. Meet the Scion IQ. Now lease for $138 a month.
At Enterprise Rent-A-Car, we keep things pretty simple. Simply treat our customers the way they should be treated.
It's about treating customers the right way.
Let us show you what that means.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Russian standard. Vodka as it should be.
Ho, 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 it's magic. You know, never believe it's not so. It's magic. You know, never believe it's not so.
Believe it. Tim Hortons French Vanilla Cafe Mocha and Latte. Irresistibly priced for just $1. And our pumpkin spice muffin is back.
It has 11 airbags, including the world's first rear window airbag, and is the most fuel-efficient conventionally powered vehicle in Canada. It's the Scion IQ, and it's ready to outsmart the city. Now lease for $138 a month.
The CFL on TSN is brought to you by Wendy's new Bacon Portobello Mushroom Melt, featuring applewood smoked bacon, portobello mushrooms, and a melty cheese sauce. Wendy's. Now that's better. Buck Pierce on the sidelines after that hit by Brandon Boudreau that resulted in the second Ticat touchdown. It's Joey Elliott's game now, and good field position, start their best of the game thanks to the return by Javon Johnson. Chad Simpson stopped. There's Jeff Tisdale, the corner, up there to help meet the running back.
Not a lot of touches in the first quarter, so Chad Simpson just trying to get warmed up here. But a swarming Hamilton defense, and we haven't said that a whole bunch this season. You're right, Jeff Tisdale turns Chad Simpson inside, and you can see that's where his help is coming from. Casey Crean's got this defense fired up.
Loss of a couple, 2nd and 12, a flag down. Elliott guns it, and it's intercepted, but the whistle had sounded, and play has been halted. D. Webb, the safety, brought it down. And an offside against the Bombers that they'll be happy to take.
Oh, absolutely.
Offside, Winnipeg, number 89. 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
Clarence Denmark.
And he must have been way offside, because often on these offsides, they'll let the play run. Unless you go across and touch an opponent or are so far offside, they have to blow the play dead.
2nd and 17. Pump and go. And this one intercepted. Jeff Tisdale brings it down, and this one will stand as Joey Elliott underthrows Chris Matthews. It's all going Hamilton's way on their last day at Ivor Wynne.
Shop at Safeway to play Safeway $1 Million Touchdown to win. Get a bonus entry when you buy any participating product, including Kellogg's cereal. Shop and play at Safeway.
Every picture tells a story. Of course, some stories are bigger than others. Okay, guys, here we go. Everybody say, cheese. Got it.
Is your car ready for winter? Visit Midas for our $39 winter maintenance package and get 120 days free roadside assistance with purchase. Be safe. Trust the Midas touch.
All we wanted was our freedom.
It seems we are well and truly at war.
George Washington now rallies the colonists. This country might finally be free.
Assassin's Creed 3, rated M for mature.
Well, in 1956, the worst plane crash in Western Canadian history killed 5 CFL players, devastating the league for years. The story of one of those players, Calvin Jones, and his grandson, Edwin Harrison of the Stampeders. The crash premieres Friday at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on TSN, engraved on a nation. Jeff Tisdale, his first interception of the season. And everything going Ticats' way here at Ivor Wynne today. So far, Siobhan Walker with the cut back and gets 2 or 3. Let's take another look at the Tisdale pick.
He and Bo Smith had played that short side very well. Now, Chris Matthews gets in behind him. I think the ball just slips out of the hands of Joey Elliott, because if you freeze it right here, that's where Jeff Tisdale had actually snuck up, and watch as Matthews gets in behind him, but because the ball is so underthrown, gives Jeff Tisdale a chance for his first interception as a Ticat, and he looks right, he didn't have the grip on the football, and underthrew his target.
12th interception thrown by Elliott, the 12th grabbed by the Ticats this year. They have 7 in the last 4 weeks, and Siobhan Walker with a run near midfield, but he's going to come up a couple yards short of the first down. 8-yard run for Walker, who was knocked out of the Ticat lineup with an injury in Winnipeg. A hip pointer that brought Avon Coburn in, and he has stayed in ever since.
And a big play a week ago to give the Hamilton Tiger Cats against Calgary an opportunity.
Kim Murphy hadn't whistled play in. It's ready to go now as Bartel gets set to boot it. Javon Johnson's back, and the Bombers could use a big Javon Johnson return. Great cover, and he'll be stopped inside the 20-yard line. Bomber football when we return.
Hey CFL fans, Pure Later Tackle Hunger is almost in the end zone. Let's complete the play to deliver 1 million pounds of food this season. Go to cfl.ca/purelator for the latest update. Tackling hunger across Canada. Check.
Hey fans, drive your team with Nissan. Go to nissan.ca/driveyourteam. Choose your team and perform their cheer. You could win a chance to see yourself cheering on the big screen and on a CFL or TSN broadcast. You could also win a trip to the 100th Grey Cup.
Join me and Jay as we host a new weekly podcast.
No topic is off limits on the Jay and Dan podcast.
I thought it was the Dan and Jay podcast.
Dan and Jay, don't be ridiculous.
Brought to you by Mark's Never Iron Perfectly Pressed Shirts.
I used to take out the iron in the morning. Now, I take out Bernie.
Men's Never Iron Shirts. This and more. Only at Mark's.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the party. PartyPoker.net brings you the chance to win it all in Montreal. So what are you waiting for? Play in our daily online qualifiers for your chance to win big in Canada's most coveted poker championship. And play your way to the WPT Montreal at the world-famous Playground Poker Club. No one does the WPT like PartyPoker.net. Yes! Qualify now for free. Yes, free. Yes, you. At PartyPoker.net. Feel it.
Happy Halloween.
Wet day, slick conditions. We've seen an impact. Let's join Catherine Dolan.
Yes, definitely, Chris. On a day like today when we have this downpour of rain, key thing for the quarterback is to keep their hands dry so they can grip the ball better. Henry Burris says he has a simple solution. That's Vaseline. He says when he rubs his hands together, puts Vaseline on them, he creates a sticky tack-like film on his hands to better grip the ball.
We saw Joey Elliott indicating that the ball had slipped out of his hands on that last interception. And remember his last game against Calgary, 4 interceptions, 3 in the end zone in the second half, which saw the Bombers fall short in a comeback bid against the Stamps.
That's interesting though that it's Vaseline. That doesn't seem like it should make sense that if you put that on it, it'd seem like it would become more slick, but
it's not what Fred Bolitnikoff used it, was it?
Unless you're calling Stickum. Maybe that's the code name for Stickum.
Yeah, here's a good run straight ahead. A power run from Chad Simpson to the 45-yard line. That's a 20-yarder for Simpson. And maybe that'll get something going for the Bombers, although Simpson goes to the sidelines, calls Will Ford into the game.
Justin Sorensen, the center in front of Joey Elliott here, is going to open up and get a nice down block as Simpson hits it.
Just take one drive for the Bombers to get back in this. Markeith Knowlton steps up and helped bring down Will Ford, who had 2 20-yard plus pickups last week on the ground and a 30-yard pass play. He made some big plays in the win against Toronto. And to change the pace of things, the Bombers going to their fire offense. Hit a short drop, and Matthews can't bring that off his shoe tops.
Chris Matthews had a big game against Hamilton, and then not so big. In fact, the only game where he didn't have a catch was in that second game against the Ticats. The first game he had over 100 yards and 8 receptions. He doesn't have a catch here in this one this afternoon.
And they've thrown his way
a couple times.
At least 3 or 4 times, and not able to make that connection yet. There's Renault driving the kick, and it goes over the head of Williams. It'll bounce down, and he's going to let it roll, but it won't reach the goal line. Wanted to concede one, and instead he's in trouble and down at the 1. 61-yard punt for Mike Renault, and that flips the field.
Williams did the right thing by waiting to see if the ball goes into the end zone, and then he gives up the point. But it never did. And he had no choice but to recover it because he had a kicker on his way down that can recover it. He couldn't wait any longer, so he picks it up, and now the Ticats in a big hole. This is where the run game comes very important. Pound it out of there. Although some teams like to go deep.
From the 1.5 line, or Yvonne Coburn cut down. Look at Johnny Sears, who got in there and made the defensive play.
Johnny Sears rotating in right now with Javon Johnson as they sort of platoon at that, what's called the Sam linebacker or strong side linebacker, more of a cover down guy, and he comes in with that play. Tim Burke this week said to the entire team, who wants to play Sam linebacker this week? Because they've rotated a few through there.
And a few have expressed their dislike of the position, like Jonathan Hefney, and of late, Javon Johnson, second and long. Burris on a roll, looking for Sam Jaguar. He's got it. Got up and maybe short. As he tried to extend the play, he may have cost himself first down yardage.
Yeah, I think if he would have just stayed down and allowed Winnipeg to touch him where he caught the football, he would have had forward progress enough to move the chains and get them out of this hole. But when he got up and then turned around to try and fight for more yards, it resets. And now that forward progress on the catch here.
That's first down there.
Absolutely. But he gets up. Now it's reset. He's turned around trying to fight for yards, and now it's where he goes out of bounds there right at the sideline, and he had lost a couple of yards, 1.5 yards.
Costly decision, and now Bartel standing 5 yards deep. His boot to the 45 of the Ticats. Javon Johnson is leveled there. Mark Beswick first man down, but the Bombers with terrific field position and a touchdown drive here, and it's a much different game.
Absolutely, and they got, as we mentioned on the last series, they got a little bit of a run game going, a run up the middle from Chad Simpson that was successful. Get back to that ball control that's been working well, and in the last 5 games have them averaging over 400 yards a game during that time, starting with the run.
And with that resurgent offense, 3 wins in their last 5. There's Will Ford tossed down immediately.
Corey Davis.
George Cortez mentioning that Davis has played well since coming to Hamilton. Now he just has to do it consistently. And again, we mentioned Davis and Moore really have bolstered that defensive line.
Just reestablishes the line of scrimmage from the interior. Just throws aside Chris Greaves. Steps in the backfield, and Will Ford, just as he's getting the football, says hello to 99.
Just his 5th game as a Ticat. 2nd and 12. Ticats coming on the blitz. They get it into the hands of Ford, and a good tackle there made by Brandon Boudreau, the defensive end, able to shut down Ford before he turned it upfield.
Well, and if he doesn't, then Ford has the corner and big yards, including much more than a first down. But Brandon Boudreau with great speed and hustle, because this is a stunt from the linebackers up front, so there's no linebacker there to go ahead and cover Will Ford out of the backfield. The defensive end reads it, and Brandon Boudreau right here. Watch him get outside, and this speed tracks down what could have been a big gain for Will Ford. Cuts him off.
Listed at 4.6 speed. He showed it there, and Will Ford landing on that right shoulder.
Yeah, and he's in pain.
Still is down, getting attention. Big first half for Brandon Boudreau. That forced fumble that results in a Ticat touchdown. And you're right, he doesn't make that play, and Will Ford is running deep into Ticat territory for first down yardage.
Last 2 guys Boudreau has tackled have gone to the sideline with shoulder issues.
So 3rd down at the 44. Not going to try a 51-yard field goal. Renault looking for another pin, or is he? He's going to take off, and he stumbles. 4-10 after him, and he'll get him. Ball pops loose, and the Ticats are on it. One way or the other, it's Hamilton Ticat football.
The backside opened up, but 4-10 is the guy that's got the responsibility to ensure the kick. Mike Renault saw the left side of the formation open as he hesitated on this punt. Took a peek.
Third turnover of the half for the Bombers.
But 4-10, there's always one player that his responsibility is to guarantee that the kick is made. Now that little stumble may have cost him the corner, but it looked like Ryan Hines was closing quickly too and would have got there in time.
Yeah, he had a long way to go, and the Ticats shut him down, get a first down at their own 41-yard line. Pocket collapsing on Burris. He gets it away. There's Chris Williams trying to cut back against Ian Logan, and Williams has a first down up near midfield.
That could be a momentum changer right there. A decision by the Winnipeg punter not only gives a little bit of spark here to this offense, as now Burris starts to move the pocket a little bit with his play action, then he slides up into it and on the run finds Chris Williams out of his peripheral vision, drops it off to him, but it also flops field position.
Chris Williams, who leads the CFL coming into this week in yards after the catch. Coburn up across midfield, wrestled down at the Bomber 53-yard line. Andre Carroll the tackle.
Well, this Bomber defense is really scrapping, because this one could have slipped out of hand in a bigger way here early on, but they're hanging in there. That decision on the special teams cost them field position. They're continuing to battle without few of their stars in Jason Vega. Kenny Maynor was coming on big time, not in the lineup. And I mentioned Alex Hall leads the team in sacks. So
those 3 guys, that's 19 sacks.
Yeah, amazing.
That's half. They have 38 on the year.
And they're still battling up front right now. This is a hard-fought game in those trenches.
Second down, Coburn stayed in the block. The pass complete. Williams has got it. It's a first down for Chris Williams in front of Dion Beasley.
Of course, Chris Williams gets another touchdown in this game. Already has one this afternoon. If you're just joining us, he tied a Ticat record with his 15th touchdown. It was set by Tony Champion and Ronald Williams. But one more and he is the record holder all by himself.
3 catches, 45 yards for Williams, and a touchdown in this opening half. Take to Coburn, a little pump to beat another man, and downfield. Incomplete. Jaguar can't make the catch. Brandon Stewart over there in coverage for the Bombers.
Well, Henry Burris got a chance with a great move on Ian Logan, who was coming on a safety blitz from the top. And his job is to get to the quarterback, number 1, but number 2, if you don't, make sure you contain. But watch the little shake here as Ian Logan goes down and completely misses Henry Burris, allows him to get outside, and then he missed the throw downfield.
Ian Logan has a better memory than that here at Ivor Wynne, a winner of the Vanier Cup with Laurier back in 2005. Final play before the 3-minute warning, downfield, and coming back for the football, Dave Stella has the catch. A first down inside the 15 for the Ticats when we return.
Bill's folks just retired.
We've asked our kids to keep an eye on them.
You know, to make sure they're keeping busy.
They're in great shape financially. Every month, they're getting a check, guaranteed.
It's part of Sun Life's Money for Life.
But the kids still want to help. Our son's even offered to do the driving.
Talk to an advisor about Money for Life from Sun Life Financial. Life's brighter under the sun.
I think I want a cheeseburger with bacon and portobello mushrooms. Have you had lunch yet?
No.
That's the power of Wendy's new hot and melty bacon portobello mushroom melt.
Now that's better.
From Gizmo's 1987 112-yard return to the 2012 Grey Cup coin toss, the 100th Grey Cup $1 coin from the Royal Canadian Mint.
Like a lot of kids, I lived for hockey. All I wanted was to get in the game and play every day. It wasn't easy for my parents to help their kids follow their dreams. It's a great game, but it's an expensive game too. That's why my dad, my brother, and I are proud to be on the Hyundai Hockey Helpers team. We'll provide more than 1,000 kids a year with funding for equipment and league fees. I hope you will join us and help kids get in the game.
2:44 left, first half. Ticats with the lead, and then it's GMC live at the half. We'll check in with Dave, Matt, Schultze, and Milt and get their take on what they've seen in this first half of an elimination game. Loser will not qualify for the postseason. Right now, Pigskin Pete had more to cheer about than the Winnipeg fans. And Henry Burris trying to add to the lead here. Burris looks in end zone and incomplete. Chris Williams, the intended target.
Let's go back to that play. Dave Stalla on the throw behind. Jonathan Hefney was in coverage and really respects the veteran speed here, as Hefney's going to open up real early as he's coming down the short side of the field here. Hefney turns. Now look, he's got a big cushion, still turns open now, and then blind turns this direction instead of inside when the ball's about to arrive. And when he turns back towards the inside of the field, he loses the football. That's why we're on the doorstep.
Bombers show blitz. Flags fly. Burris is nailed. Henry Burris brought down by G.T. Gilmore. Let's see if the Bombers were offside.
According to Henry Burris.
Offside. Winnipeg, number 92. 5-yard penalty remains, second down.
Ryan Turner has moved out to defensive end with all the injuries. Got an early jump. So it'll be second down over, 2nd and 5.
And that's who Henry Burris was talking to. Turned around and said to Brian Turner, he said, "You were offside, weren't you?" "Yeah, I thought we saw that."
7 penalties in the first half, all 7 have gone against Winnipeg. Second and 5. Burris looked one way, now the other. Touchdown! Andy Van Toos got in behind Alex Zuber. Touchdown of the year for Van Toos, and number 39 for Henry Burris on the year.
And good time for Burris to pump fake down the field one time. He looks to the short side, doesn't like it over there, then comes back to the seam route to Andy Van Toos, who was in behind Alex Huber.
So Henry Burris has matched a career high with number 39. And the Ticats take a stranglehold on this first half. Van Toos puts it down. Kanji gets it through. And the lead is 22.
Great afternoon where we talk about some of the great events to be played here and performed here at Ivor Wynne Stadium, and take you back to 1975 and the Pink Floyd concert. Over 55,000 jammed into Ivor Wynne Stadium that held about 30 at the time.
Boy, I'm sour I missed this. What a day it was. The final concert of that tour for Pink Floyd, the hottest act in music at the time. And it was so hot they blew up the scoreboard and left a little bit of a mess. In fact, it was so bad that they decided not to have concerts here. Only 3 concerts in the history of this building, and that includes a farewell concert a few weeks ago by the Hip here at Ivor Wynne.
Rush in 1979, but apparently that was the last stop of the Pink Floyd tour, and they were going to blow off all the final pyrotechnics and get that out of the way in their final stop. And some of the windows of the houses that are right next to the stadium here at Ivor Wynne even blew out the windows of those houses.
I hope the stadium doesn't look like that at the end of this day. Bouncing kickoff, and Clarence Denmark comes up with it, and he gets taken down at the 40-yard line.
We take a look at Ivor Wynne Stadium throughout the years. 1928, called Civic Stadium, as Catherine mentioned, to host the British Empire Games. The Ticats became the permanent resident in 1950.
Met a gentleman at the stadium yesterday whose grandfather helped work on construction of it in 1928. Said they brought the bricks and concrete blocks in with horses and carts, and different era, and you can tell this was built in a different era.
Mixed emotions, but it's time.
Yeah. Joey Elliott on a roll. Got Pobla over the 50-yard line. First down, Bombers really need some points before this first half is done.
I like what Tim Burke's doing here over the last couple of games, whether they can hold on and keep hope alive here or not with Kito Pobla to move him inside. I've seen in this game this afternoon a little more slot back from Pobla, and I think, you know, his size, mentioned it earlier in the season, he's been playing wide out as a Bomber. But with his size and big physical receiver, I think he may be better suited for that inside receiver spot.
In motion, and with Carl Bolney in now at the running back spot, and they haven't been able to put a dent in that front 4 of the Ticats today.
Well, we're scheduled to have Angelo Mosca come in and talk to us in between the 3rd and 4th quarters. One of the Ticat greats, and I have a feeling that this defense, when they got a chance to meet him in the introductions, they looked in his eyes and they said, you know what, we better start playing better against the run, because they have done that this afternoon.
in the presence of Mosca. Bombers with only 56 yards of offense first half. Pressure on Elliott. Steps up and he'll take off at a lot of open field. Joey Elliott is out of bounds at the Hamilton 36-yard line.
And he looked like he was a little bit upset with a couple of his receivers that he wanted them to open up as he took off and got outside of containment here as he steps up and then gets outside.
Big 23-yard run, though. Now back in the hands of Volney. Oh, Volney pounds it down to the 29, so Will Ford was shaken up and Chad Simpson not in the lineup right now. And Dominic Harris and Carl Volney are locked up. They're getting to get to know each other very well, aren't they?
Yeah. And it only took them about 30 seconds to realize maybe we should take our helmets off.
Yeah.
See if we can.
We may need one of the equipment guys to come out.
I talked about it a few weeks back when the Lions were here about discussion again about helmet-to-helmet contact. I guess we have proof here that on that last play there was a little helmet-to-helmet contact. And there is pretty much on every play. You just want to be safe, get your head up, not duck your head like that. Somewhere down on the bottom there, they just got linked up and spent 35 seconds nose to nose talking about it right here, going, hey dude, what are you doing? What are you doing later?
I think the problem for the Bombers right now is Volney's the only running back that they've got at their disposal.
Yeah, Chad Simpson limped off or had a little bit of a shoulder, and we saw Will Ford with a shoulder as well.
Brad Fody had to come onto the field, the equipment man, to help out, and I think Volney's ready to go. Dominic Harris has gone to the sidelines, 2nd and 3. Back into the hands of Volney, trying the right side, and he won't make the first down. Had to get down to the 26. And it's going to be 3rd down, and now flags fly, some late shots. And is that going to give the Bombers a fresh set of downs?
Torrey Davis is in there pleading his case, which often indicates that it's going to be against that team. In Hamilton, they're looking at moving it forward, so it looks like that's going to be the case here.
After the play, major foul, unnecessary roughness. Hamilton, number 99, half the distance to the goal, first down.
That removes a really difficult decision for Tim Burke, considering that it's 22-0. It would have been 3rd and 2. Do you kick a field goal to get something out of the half, or do you gamble 3rd and 2? Tim Burke doesn't have to make that decision.
He doesn't have to make it now. You're going to see it clear as day. And watch 99 in the middle of your screen. He gets up, pushing back and forth with Glenn January. They're going to let that go, and then bam, there. Right hand to the face, no question.
What would you have done?
Yeah, I think I might have gone to try and get the momentum of a major. Didn't have to make the choice.
Alex Brink comes into the game. And Brink is going to follow blocking off the right side. And gets tackled after a short gain. Ray Williams there, Markeith Knowlton in the neighborhood. And again, we saw Will Ford on the previous series, and there's Chad Simpson, who's had the jacket on the sidelines for some time. Tough day in a lot of ways for the Bombers. They've lost Pierce, Simpson, Ford, and they're down by 22, but threatening here, Elliott comes back, 2nd and 8. Pobla and Anderson waggle to the far side. They come back inside and nothing doing. Volney ran into a wall.
Greg Peach slid down, read this perfectly, and was in the hole to meet Volney. One step to the inside, and there he is, lined up in the interior. The only opportunity they've only had really was a cutback lane, but it closed quickly.
Beach with a first quarter touchdown. And a forward tackle first half. So Justin Pilardi to get the Bombers on the board. From 22 yards out. And it's 22-3. With 6 seconds to go.
Is this a challenge for the Bombers or what? Fighting for their playoff lives now. And we've talked about many times what a different team they are when Buck Pierce is at quarterback and when he's not. He is not and hasn't been for some time in this second quarter. Shoulder pads off, shoulder iced in the dugout here at Ivor Wynne. No Chad Simpson, no Will Ford in the last couple of series for Tim Berg's squad offensively. He's going to have to rely on his defense to possibly even score. They've been playing hard. One of those scores for Hamilton was by their defense when Greg Peach picked up a fumble and scored in the first quarter.
By the way, the touchdown by Peach is second in the CFL. Had one as an Edmonton Eskimo. But on a day they say so long, at least in the regular season to this old building, the familiar Ticat defense of the past has shown up here today for the Tabbies. That ball skip past Walker, but bounces out. And will give Hamilton decent field position, but not a whole lot of time to use it.
Illegal kickoff. Winnipeg, 17. First down on the 45-yard line.
Miserable conditions for this game.
You know, I think the Hamilton Tiger Cats, you know, my gut normal situation would say throw one deep and see what happens, but I think in this situation you got a nice lead. It's bad conditions. You don't want to get a fumble or anything like that. Take your lead in at halftime and the momentum.
Had the worst weather conditions for a practice on Tuesday, much like today. George Cortez mentioned it was a really good day of practice and a good rehearsal for what they've had. They are going to take a shot downfield and through the fingertips of Ian Logan, incomplete. A little surprise, but everything seemed to go Hamilton's way in that opening half, and the reverse for Buck Pierce and the Bombers. Final day at regular season at Ivor Wynne. Ticats lead.
Speed Weekend on TSN and TSN2. Tomorrow, Singapore, Japan, Korea. He's taken the points lead. Now he looks to go 4 in a row at the Indian Grand Prix. And later on TSN2, the chase continues. Who will race to the top? Tom's Fast Relief 500. Live from the Martinsville Speedway. Speed Weekend starts tomorrow morning on TSN.
Honey, wake up. You're snoring. It's really bad tonight. You need to go to the couch.
Are you sick of being kicked out of your bedroom because you snore? Fed up with having to sleep on the couch every night? Then you need Pure Sleep, the #1 selling snoring solution in the world.
The first night he stopped snoring.
The second night it worked, and the third night, and the fourth night, and I was about in tears because it worked.
Invented by a dentist who snored, Pure Sleep is proven safe and effective.
Here's how Pure Sleep works to stop snoring. During sleep, the muscles that keep the airway open relax, restricting airflow and creating a snoring sound. Pure Sleep is a comfortable, self-molded mouthpiece that holds your jaw slightly forward, opening the airway so that the snoring stops.
Just look at these CT scans of a person who snores. Here you can see the constricted airway. Now, look how Pure Sleep opens that airway to stop the snoring.
Pure Sleep started working the very first night.
It's small, it's comfortable. You don't even know you have it in.
Don't be fooled by imitators that can't be adjusted. Made in the USA, only Pure Sleep has 3 adjustable positions.
Plus, Pure Sleep custom molds to your teeth for a perfect fit. Pure Sleep is guaranteed to stop your snoring right away. To prove it, we'll let you try it for 30 days before you buy it. All you do is cover the shipping and handling. Plus, for a limited time, we'll give you a second Pure Sleep with travel case at no additional cost. So act now.
It was just like our lives changed overnight.
If we don't have the Pure Sleep, he's on the couch.
So don't let snoring get you kicked to the couch. Kick snoring out of your bedroom with Pure Sleep. Call or visit trypuresleep.com right now.
Live at the Half is brought to you by GMC Sierra. We are professional grade.
Let's take it back to prior to kickoff. There's Joe Montford, 5th all-time sacks. Angelo Mosca, another defensive stalwart, iconic Tiger Cat, greeting everybody. And I don't know, but I think maybe those two defensive stalwarts for this franchise had a bit of a carryover effect as we welcome you inside the CFL on TSN, where we celebrate Halloween a little bit early. Winnipeg and Hamilton in a must-win situation for both of these teams. One of the teams is following the script for sure. A very impressive half for the Ticats, 22-3. Winnipeg avoids being shut out in the first half for the 5th time this season, but just barely with that late field goal. However, this is the fewest points the Ticats have allowed in the first half all season long. They look good. And I ask you, do you think a lot of these guys, many of whom really don't know much about the history of the franchise or this stadium we're saying goodbye to, you think they fed off that?
Absolutely. How could you not, Dave? Even if you didn't know Angelo Mosca or Joe Mumford and you shook hands with them, their mindset, their character would jump into your body and make you do things you haven't been able to do all season long. That's basically what's happened to the defensive line of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, getting after the Winnipeg offense, just collapsing the pocket, which we need. Boudreaux getting in there, and then Greg Peach with the scoop and score. Buck Pierce sitting down once again. Doesn't stop Big Toy Davis from getting in the backfield. He's doing his thing. And watch this play. This is Brandon Boudreaux, first-year player, tracking down a running back. I'm talking about a 300-pound defensive lineman getting out there and making it happen. These guys playing inspired football. If they can do this, matched with Henry Burris's ability to move the football, which he has in the first half, Schultze, this football team can be scary down the stretch.
You know, Matty, great game defensively for these Hamilton Ticats, and also great game for Ray Williams, the middle linebacker. When you talk about being critical of a defense, it's hard to be critical of the middle linebacker, Ray Williams. For him to perform well is the key issue in the game. Understand that position. He's in the middle of everything. He has to make the majority of the tackles. Look at the collision right there on Chad Simpson. Nice big base. He wrestles him to the ground, wraps him up hard. And then on this play, he's going to disengage from the offensive lineman. Look at the extension on the arms, but the vision is past the offensive lineman towards the back. Quick inside move, back to the outside, finds a running back, gets that running back down. The history of the Hamilton Ticats is very much based on great defense. One player that has had a good year all year, their middle linebacker, Ray Williams.
We came into this game thinking Winnipeg had kind of turned the corner here. They're playing some good football, put 44 points on the board last week against the Toronto Argonauts. They've got 3 at the half. They rushed for 260 yards last week against the Argos. In 1 week, they knocked the Argos down 2 spots in run defense. Why aren't they doing that today?
I don't know. I don't know if they came out saying, well, we're going to play some Jedi mind tricks. We're going to fool them and make them think we're not going to run. Well, it doesn't matter. If you can run the ball well, if you execute, it doesn't matter if the team knows what you're doing. You'll be able to run. But they decide to come out and not run the ball. You got Will Ford. You got Chad Simpson. And those guys are hurt right now, so you really won't be able to run the ball. And I think this play right here, this hit on Buck, is a result of them not running the ball early. So defenses know they can just pin back their ears and come after that offense. They got to find a way to come out in this second half and run the ball. Yeah, you're down 22-3. Yeah, your backup quarterback is in, but you still have to run the ball to set up the big plays down the field.
You said it. The backup quarterback is in again, and just when Buck had got it going again last week, he is now out of the game again with what appears to be a right shoulder injury, and you saw the hit there from Brandon Boudreaux that led directly to a touchdown. This is really going to be something they're going to have to look long and hard at in the offseason.
Well, first of all, Milt, you're right, because if you're going to hand the football off, there's so many different ways to protect a quarterback. It's amazing. You can sprint him from one side of the field to another. You can run the football effectively. There's a lot of different ways to do it. But to put him back in that stationary pocket, you know what defensive linemen are like. They're not the nicest people in the world. They know that Buck is susceptible to injury.
Yeah, and that offensive line just got off the week before against Toronto. In these conditions as well, it doesn't make any sense for them to put themselves in that field position, not try to pound the line of scrimmage and put that pressure on Buck Pierce, put him in harm's way, which he did get hurt in the first half. And it's a head scratcher because I feel for Buck and that organization because it is a quandary moving forward.
Well, you have to make a decision now. I'm sure those fans in Winnipeg are saying, here we go again. Do they want to ride with Buck? And I don't think so. I don't think you can. And like you say, Buck's a great guy. We all love him. But it may be time to move on from Buck Pierce. I don't know where you're going to go to. Do you go after Riley and BC? Do you try to develop one of those young guys you have there? But I think you just have to move on from Buck Pierce right now.
Meantime, the other quarterback, all is good. Henry Burris with 2 more touchdown passes today. Now 39 on the season. That ties a career high for him. He's 1 away from 40. Only 6 guys have done that. Here's a couple of all-time greats. There's Big Ange and Garney Hanley, who was an MOP back in 1972 when the Ticats won the Grey Cup.
That leaky roof will cost you thousands in repairs, and gushing gutters can destroy your home's foundation. Hi, Phil Swift here for Flex Seal, the easy way to coat, seal, and stop leaks fast. Just a quick shot and Flex Seal instantly fills cracks and holes, stopping the toughest leaks while remaining completely flexible. Flex Seal is actually liquid rubber in a can. Flex Seal is perfect for all your home repairs and covers easily. Now that's a beautiful seal that will last a lifetime. This powerful stream penetrates deep to create a bendable barrier that's totally waterproof. Flex Seal is perfect for roof repair and basement leaks. It's like a handyman in a can. This super strong rubberized coating is unaffected by weather. In extreme heat or cold, Flex Seal keeps its hold. Finally, it's easy to seal AC drip hands and stop leaks or drafts around windows. To show you the amazing sealing power of Flex Seal, we replaced the bottom of this boat with a screen door and covered it in Flex Seal. After a day on the water, not only does it stay afloat, but the inside is completely dry. Flex Seal is perfect for skylights, appliances, RVs, and so much more. Don't call a repairman to fix leaks and water damage. That'll cost you thousands of dollars. You can get Flex Seal right now for just $19.99. Flex Seal's new advanced formula is guaranteed to coat, seal, protect, and stop leaks fast. But wait, to make this the most amazing offer on television, we're going to double your order and send you 2 large cans of Flex Seal. Just pay additional processing. That's twice the sealing power for only $19.99. Here's how to order.
To order Flex Seal, please call the number on your screen or order online at flexseal.ca.
Want to play like a casino VIP? JackpotCity.net free online casino will teach you how. Learn to bring the house down using our perfect strategy feature. Enjoy hours of entertainment on our award-winning slots, featuring famous brands like Tomb Raider and the Osbournes. Plus, you'll find a huge variety of roulette, blackjack, and video poker games to play. Visit JackpotCity.net and live it up like a VIP. JackpotCity.net free online casino. Learn to play, play to win.
Welcome back. All Hamilton in this, their last regular season game at Ivor Wynne. Schultze, halftime numbers.
Look at those total yards for the Hamilton Ticats right now. Pretty good at 162. Avon Colborn having a very productive day. Dave, I'm serious. They should consider bringing him back next year if they can afford it.
Tell you one guy they want to have back for a long time. That is Chris Williams, who just spoke with Catherine Dolan.
Chris, a record day for you. You tied the Ticats regular season record for touchdowns in a season on a day like today when you say goodbye to Ivor Wynne. What is the significance for you?
Man, it's big for us. It's big for us to, have a lead like this. And, for me personally, what an honor to do it right now in this final game here. And, we guys just got to hold on and try to get this win.
On a day exactly like today, this season you guys seem to have struggled when having the lead. What do you have to do to keep the momentum going into the second half?
Just execute. Keep executing the way we've been doing in the first half and continue to make plays and we'll be okay.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
And in the meantime, the Blue Bombers have just made it official now. Buck Pierce's day is done. He will not return to this game. This is game 1 of our Saturday doubleheader. Game 2 has Toronto and Regina. And here's Corey Warren with a little Sports Center update on that.
Absolutely, Dave. Game 2 has the Argos and the Rough Riders. Toronto looking to clinch a home playoff game with a win today, and it's very cold on the prairies. Toronto practiced in unseasonably warm temperatures in Toronto this week. They'll now face -6 with the wind chill at kickoff, and Chad Owens doesn't think the weather is going to be a factor.
Me personally, coming from Hawaii, hey, I'm kind of looking forward to this. It's not often you get to go out and play football in this type of weather and to test your mental toughness, and I think that's all it is,
So the early edition of Sports Center will follow our second game. We're up a little later today at 7 o'clock Eastern time. We'll also have a preview of Game 3 of the World Series, Dave.
I love Chad Owens, but I'm not buying a word he says about looking forward to playing in that weather. These guys, they didn't care what kind of weather they played in. That is the all-time Cat team being honored right now in Hamilton.
People think I used a treadmill or a stepper or an elliptical to lose 50, 88,
45 pounds.
but they're blown away when I tell them I just walked.
Walked on a tread climber by Bowflex.
Introducing the new line of tread climber machines by Bowflex, the fitness breakthrough that burns up to 3.5 times the calories of a treadmill, and all you do is walk.
Being a single mom, the last thing I wanted to do was go spend another hour or 2 in the gym. First time in my life I feel like I've actually found something that works. I lost 50 pounds. The tread climber feels effortless. I'm genuinely happy with myself.
Treadmills, steppers, and ellipticals only work your body in one direction, but the Tread Climber's 3-in-1 design combines all 3 motions, so you can burn more calories in as little as 30 minutes 3 times a week.
I always had this skinny me in my head, and I wanted to try to be that person. I lost 73 pounds. The person I was before, I want to shake her and say, you could have changed your life way earlier.
Call or go to walktc.ca for your free information kit today. You'll see how in just 30 minutes you can burn up to 3.5 times the calories of a treadmill, and without the stress that running can put on your joints.
I'm 65 years old. I want something that's easy on my joints. I lost 26 pounds and I feel better now than I did when I was younger.
Before I lost the weight, the first thing that entered the room was my gut. Now it's my chest. I lost 45 pounds and I feel fantastic. The tread climber got my body back to where I was in college.
And introducing the Bowflex Buyback Guarantee. Try a tread climber in your home for a full 6 weeks. If you don't see incredible results, we'll give you your money back guaranteed.
I tried a lot of other equipment. Nothing worked like the tread climber did. I am now smaller than I was pre-pregnancy. 88 pounds. That's a lot of weight.
This machine is a miracle.
It's a walking workout.
What could be easier than that?
So call or go online to walktc.ca for your free info kit and new online brochure. That's walktc.ca.
Sunday Night Football. Drew Brees and the Saints are marching again.
That man is on fire right now.
Peyton Manning and the Broncos are on a roll themselves, following an amazing comeback win against the Chargers. Then, on the Monday Nighter, Alex Smith and the 49ers head to the desert to face Larry Fitzgerald and the Cardinals.
Into the end zone.
Sunday Night Football. Saints, Broncos tomorrow at 7. Monday Night Football. Niners, Cards at 6:30 on TSN. Also listen live on TSN Radio. In 1956, tragedy strikes the CFL. A plane crash takes the lives of 5 all-star players.
My grandfather could have been the greatest offensive lineman that ever touched the football field.
A family connected and torn apart by football.
This is a story about family and pain, a family trying to find itself.
Engraved on a nation, The Crash. Friday at 8 on TSN.
Welcome back to Ivor Wynne on the final regular season game from this storied building in Hamilton, where the Ticats have a 22-3 lead. We get set for the second half. Chris Williams, Andy Fantuz have caught touchdown passes. Greg Peach also with the touchdown for the Tiger Cats. And before we start the second half, here's Catherine Dolan with Winnipeg coach Tim Burke.
Coach, tough to lose your quarterback in the starting half. Can you tell us what happened and give us an update on if he's coming back?
Well, he got banged up, upper body injury. It's not his head, though. So all those people out there who want to make him retire, it's not his head. So we probably won't see him in the second half.
And how about Chad Simpson?
We won't see him in the second half either.
Any update on his injury?
It's a foot injury.
Great. Thanks, Coach.
You bet.
So the news not good from the Winnipeg sidelines, and Joey Elliott will be the quarterback, and there's Carl Volney, who has to be the feature running back now for a Bomber team that has really been hit hard in this first half. They get the ball first to start the second, and here we go. Dion Beasley. Short return, just short of the 40-yard line. Let's see if Joey Elliott can get something going for the Bombers. They didn't have much in the first half.
No, they started to establish a little more run game, and now that may change again with the injuries to Chad Simpson and Will Ford. But there's the numbers for Joey Elliott. 3 quarterbacks played for the Bombers in that first quarter. We saw little Alex Brink as well in a special formation where he's running the football. Clarence Denmark had a couple of catches. They may have to throw it. Remember, Joey Elliott threw for over 400 yards against Hamilton in his first start this year.
And Chris Matthews without a catch in the opening half. Most dangerous guy on the field. Over the middle, there's Terrence Edwards, and separated from the football by the safety D. Webb.
Zone defense gives you a chance to just close on the football with it in the air, and if that ball is thrown here, it's a completion. It's thrown about here, and that allows D. Webb to react to it and step up and make the play. Joey Elliott turns. If he lets go of it now, he gives Terrence Edwards a chance. That extra second, and you could see Webb close in, gets his left shoulder in there, and tackles the football, basically.
2nd and 10. Elliott on a roll to the near side. Denmark incomplete, they rule. Denmark wants another look. Thought he may have made the play, although doesn't argue the call.
I think Clarence Denmark wanted to look at the replay up on Tiger Vision because he wants to see if he should go and tell Tim Burke to go ahead and challenge. Did he get his hands underneath?
No challenge for no, a little bobble, but end over end downfield. Here's Andrea Jones, gets a crease, and off he goes. A block on Renault, and Andrea Jones is down to the Winnipeg 30-yard line. He's had kick returns of over 50 yards in each of the last 2 games. And a big punt return here of 41 yards for Andrea Jones.
You know, on those kick returns, Chris, you talk about he's only had 17 of them, but he actually in the top 10 kick returners in the league has the best average. I know he doesn't have quite as many as most of them in the top 10, but his average has been good. When he has his hands on the football in special teams, he gets a nice block from Chris Williams, who even though he didn't have the ball in his hands, went out there and threw his body in there.
Ticats were 2 for 2 in the red zone in the first half, and with great field position to start here, Avon Coburn a run down to the 25-yard line.
Nice block by Bakari Grant there on that run play. There's Williams' touchdown, his 15th in the season, ties a Hamilton Tiger Cat record. Henry Burris with a couple of TD passes, one more and he'll be at 40. As Dave Randorf mentioned at halftime, only 6 players have done that. Avon Coburn with just 7 touches in the first half. That was his 8th of this game.
Second and 4, and they give the ball, or they fake to Coburn. Nice fake, and Fantuz has the catch. Down at the 10, it's a first down. Ian Logan the stop, but a 15-yard pickup for Fantuz.
What a great play fake from Henry Burris to really sell the fact that he's going with Avon Coburn in this direction. Watch him put it in his stomach and then pull it, and how it influences defense. Look at Jonathan Hefney. He takes off. He's the guy who looks like he should have contained on the outside, but went way too far inside and didn't have a chance to pressure Burris.
Second down conversion catch, his 21st of the year. 5th in the league in that department. Straight ahead is Coburn. And down to the 6-yard line. GT Gilmore on the stop.
Seven games over 300 yards passing for Henry Burrs.
You know, he's never led the league in passing. Started this weekend 62 yards behind the leader, Anthony Calvillo. And flags fly. They don't get the play off.
Procedure. Hamilton, number 63. It's a 5-yard penalty, remaining second down.
It's the right tackle, Mark Dial, who moved prematurely.
He was only 62 yards behind Anthony Calvillo coming into this weekend's game. Of course, Montreal plays Edmonton tomorrow. He's now 83 yards ahead of Anthony Calvillo.
Right here.
So 2nd and goal from the 11. Looks one way, now back the other, and Williams unable to make the catch with Johnny Sears lining him up for a big hit.
I was going to say the throw kind of brought Chris Williams right into harm's way, right into the sights of Johnny Sears. Chris Williams wants to come in and from the outside, he wants to get the ball right in about there on that little bang route. Now watch him come back in, and that ball's thrown up the field right into the sight lines of Johnny Sears.
So Luca Conchi will come on to attempt an 18-yarder. Of course, the miss was on a poor hold, and this one is through. And it's 25-3.
Singing in my bones. Doesn't much matter now where I'm going. Get it when I get there is what I'll do. If I get enough, I'll give some to you. And I'm going to the country. Oh, happy as can be. Sunshine, smile on me.
With 84% of our products coming from Canadian suppliers, you could say our country is our backstore.
Ho, 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 it's magic. You know, never believe it's not so. It's magic. You know.
Believe it. Tim Hortons French Vanilla Cafe Mocha and Latte. Irresistibly priced for just $1. And our pumpkin spice muffin is back.
The CFL on TSN is brought to you by Rona, proud partner of the Canadian Football League. And its 8 teams. 6 make the postseason. One of these 2 teams will not after today's result. An elimination game here in Ivor Wynne. Ganji boots it downfield. Clarence Denmark's got it. Dancing around to the 40-yard line. We reflect on what a great building this is. The sight line's so wonderful, and the fans so close. How close? Well, Paris Jackson left his helmet in the dugout area a couple of weeks ago, and when he went to grab it, it was gone. That's how close.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I remember as a visitor many times, as Danny McManus mentioned in our interview with him, how close they are and how rowdy they can get and be in your ear.
How'd they know Danny's mom? Here's Joey Elliott. Crossing pattern, and Chris Matthews has his first catch and a few extra yards for a first down up over the 50-yard line. got to get the ball in his hands if they're going to mount a comeback here today.
Yeah, really do. Came into the game 5th in receiving, and what a bright light he's been in a tough season for the Bombers. Over 1,000 yards, 1,105 in the 7 touchdowns on the year. 6 games over 100 yards. Didn't have a big game last week in Winnipeg's win, just 1 catch, but
he may have to work on his Rookie of the Year speech.
Yeah, and they want to get him work to a long-term deal if they can.
First down to 51, 4-man rush is picked up. Elliott delivers a Pogba, and again separated from the football by D. Webb. George Cortez moved Webb to safety a few weeks ago, said he could make more big plays there, and we've seen a couple here in the second half.
Well, leads the secondary in tackles and knockdowns, and this time, that's the second time this game that he has separated receiver from football. As he drops back here, Pobla's coming on the corner, and watch the ground he makes up to get there. Ton of ground, full speed, and arrives with a bit of an attitude.
So Webb in the middle. We've seen Bo Smith make an impact. Has to go to the sidelines. Helmet needs some fixing. And so Matt Buckner will come into the game. Matt Buckner helping out at safety. Dominic Harris is in. Elliott under pressure. Takes off and a slide across midfield short of the first down.
It's still too early to go ahead and play 3-down football at this point. You punt it in the corner, take the field position, put your defense that's been scrapping for Tim Burt, if you're the Bombers, on the field, and see if they can get a quick 2-and-out.
So Tim Burke sends the punt unit on to try and pin the Ticats deep. Williams back. 16. James Green down in a hurry and nowhere for Williams to go. Angelo Mosca when we come back.
Hey fans, drive your team with Nissan. Go to nissan.ca/drive your team. Choose your team and perform their cheer. You could win a chance to see yourself cheering on the big screen and on a CFL or TSN broadcast. You could also win a trip to the 100th Grey Cup.
That's the good one. Windsor System Saver 2 pellets.
Yep, that's the one. It's the water softening salt.
This is the one with those cool pellets. Dad said I gotta get the good one.
Our patented System Saver 2 pellets extends the life of your softener by up to 5 years. The unique pellets help prevent hard water spots, mineral buildups, and leave your skin and laundry softer.
You gotta get the good one. Check it out.
Windsor System Saver 2 pellets. You gotta get the good one.
I think I want a cheeseburger with bacon and portobello mushrooms. Have you had lunch yet?
No.
That's the power of Wendy's new hot and melty bacon portobello mushroom melt.
Now that's better.
Well, part of the special ceremonies here at Ivor Wynne today, at halftime, they honored the 1972 Grey Cup champions. There's Garney Henley along with the great Angelo Mosca, the first team to win the Grey Cup at home, and there's the all-time Tiger Cat team as well, and big number 68 front and center, as he should be. Back in the 60s, you and the Prime Minister, the two most recognized men.
That's absolutely correct, and still that's going to happen. I'll make sure my face appears before him.
How about this day and the emotions that are running through you right now?
The emotions can run high. I saw a few people. I actually shed a tear because this is where I started it all, and this is where I ended it all. And I can remember the last sign I saw, "Thank you and goodbye, Ange." And these fans are all for what they mean.
Well, it was your final game was 1972. You picked a great way to go out. Let's take a look at that. On a frigid day at Ivor Wynne. Hard-fought game. Chuck Gilly, the rookie quarterback. Some late passes to Tony Gabriel. There's Garney Henley with a clutch catch, and it set it up for Ian Sunter.
Your memories of that year and that team?
I can remember Ian Sutton was a 19-year-old kid, and I said, "If you miss, kid, you'll never play here again." But I had a lot of fun with these guys because we were divided in age-wise. The left side of the line was Inskeep. He was about 40, and I was 39. And the right side was Lou Bruce and a couple of young bucks that come up from the U.S., and they were great football players.
There's a young buck out of Notre Dame. And
great
number
matchups
68
against George Reed.
Yep.
Suits has got a question for you. We want the answer, honestly. Willie Fleming.
After all these years.
Oh, my gosh.
Was it deliberate?
Don't make me cry.
There's a lot of Vancouver fans that are wondering.
Too bad. So sad, your dad.
Here's Bartell with a boot, and this one is going to bounce around midfield. Javon Johnson will get the no yards call. You know, it's interesting that you see Ivor Wynne finish with a game between Winnipeg and Hamilton because there were so many great cups between the Ticats and the Bombers.
I played in 9 Grey Cups, and what's his name, Wise? See, there's Mel Wilson, who's got 9 Grey Cups? Cutler, Highbar. Yes, look, are those players?
So you're tied for the first.
Are those
you and John Barrow?
Larry Highbaugh in Edmonton, Dave Cutler in Edmonton.
We had some great memories, and the memories will live on. And this stadium is like home to me. We used to come across town on a bus and get dressed over here.
I was surprised that they didn't have a dressing room for you guys here at Ivor Wynne back then.
Because with Ralph Sazio and Jake Goddard, you had nothing. They were great guys, a great general manager, great coach.
And it's all about, and was all about, toughness with the Ticat teams. The front four is playing inspired football today. Did you have a little word with them at midfield before the game?
I didn't think they needed a word, but they did need something, you know, and football surely has changed. The way I played the game, I'd probably be in jail now.
Hey, tell us about Garney Henley playing both ways. Well, you played both ways too. You were an offensive lineman for a while.
That's how we come up here. And when I first come here, they only had 11 Americans. And I was only one guy that made the team. I don't know how I ever made the team because they had come off of a Grey Cup game in 1957. So it was fun. It was, we had some great athletes. And in those days, you played the game. You didn't cry or should I go in, I got a sore toe. Those days are gone.
Well, this is always about great, tough defenses, tough fans, so it's really a perfect day for this game.
It's a tough day when you see these smokestacks that were going. 35,000 people were working in this city, and it was just a remote atmosphere.
And a pleasure on a special day to have you.
Absolutely.
Had to have Angelo Mosca part of the final regular season day as he inspires the Ticats.
Shop at Safeway to play Safeway $1 Million Touchdown to win. You could win an LG 55-inch Cinema 3D with Smart TV, a comfortable 3D viewing experience, and access to limitless streaming content and apps. Or a 2013 Nissan Altima. Shop and play at Safeway.
Bouquet for the bride?
You're a lifesaver. Where did you get these?
I borrowed them.
And I needed something borrowed too. Thank you.
Anytime.
WestJet Vacations. #1 in customer satisfaction for a reason. Because owners care. And it shows.
I'm doing it. I'm digging it.
I'm bringing it.
We're feeling it.
I'm living it up.
I'm lighting it up. Woo! I'm burning it up. And I'm loving it, baby!
Can a simple bracelet actually turn your life around? Yes, we're positive. Q-Ray. Q the positive. Q-Ray bracelets are available at wellness clinics, sporting goods stores, and fine jewelers everywhere.
He could be your soulmate. But first, you've got to get him to say hello. Crest 3D White Advanced Vivid Enamel Renewal Toothpaste. Not only can it remove up to 90% of surface stains, it also strengthens and rebuilds your enamel. Crest 3D White Toothpaste.
Sack Tally brought to you by Purolator, tackling hunger across Canada. Check. And if Barrow and Mosca were playing when we had Purolator tackle hunger, the food banks would be full.
We'd have to get Mosca out of jail, as he mentioned. If he was playing today, he'd be in jail. One sack in this game so far from Brandon Boudreau. The Hamilton Tiger got 7, a real good game.
Ron Walker in at running back now and up across the 15. Can you imagine that front four, all-time Ticat front four, Mosca and Barrow inside, and Joe Montfort and Grover Covington at defensive end. And Joe looks like he could still play.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I was talking, they've been walking back and forth. A lot of the greats are here up in the booth, and Joe Montfort came up a second ago, and I said to him, did you get the boys pumped up? Because I could see you talking to them there. He says, I was asking for shoulder pads. He said, no one would give me shoulder pads.
Second down, Burris can't find anybody under pressure, and he does dump it off. Avoided the sack. They won't get the first down. Siobhan Walker a catch, but Javon Johnson there to make sure he doesn't get away. But can't talk about final day of Ivor Wynne without 53. Relentless off the edge.
4-time All-Canadian, 4-time CFL sack leader. Was so close to James Parker's record of 26. I mean, he's got one of the guys with Quick Parker in Vancouver that really changed the position where everyone was searching for the next Joe Mumford to find a stand-up rush end that could be that dominant.
They have a pretty good argument about this, but Henry Burris said yesterday, Joe Montfort, the best player he ever played against, and that includes Cam Wake. And a boot by Bartel that bounces out at the Hamilton 53. Bombers have good field position. Still time.
You have the passports?
Yeah. Where are you off to today? Italy.
Airport.
The new Scotiabank Gold American Express card lets you earn travel rewards up to 4 times faster. You're richer than you think. Scotiabank.
It's hard to meet that special someone these days. Those online dating sites are all the same. You make a profile and the computer matches you with a bunch of pictures. But then I discovered LifeMates and it changed our lives.
I had the same problems. I tried online dating for over a year and it wasn't for me. I was looking for someone I can trust, someone real. LifeMates met with me in person. I told them what I was looking for and they did the rest.
LifeMates gave me what I couldn't find on my own.
Each other.
Call or visit us online today. You have nothing to lose and a LifeMate to gain.
Our nation's road hazards are back, this time tackling urban driving. Watch out for the season premiere of Canada's Worst Driver, Monday at 10 Eastern, only on Discovery.
They're having fun. Tough crowd, tough city. Through its history, it's been a tough team. I remember coming in many times thinking, you just want to get in and get out because it was hard to win here.
Bombers finding that out, but start at the Hamilton 53. Joey Elliott on the sidelines. Anderson a catch. Jeff Tisdale eases him out just short of the first down stick.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that Joey Elliott's calling plays at the line of scrimmage now because it's that time of the game. They've got to take advantage of this field position with the major to climb back in it.
First catch for Isaac Anderson, who had 6 for 82 against the Argos, and now he goes off with Pobla as the jumbo team comes on.
Just keep in mind that this is an elimination game. The team that loses this game is out of the playoff hunt. Both teams in it still will need some help, but have to take care of business.
Second and short. And Volney straight ahead will have the first down. You would imagine that the Bombers need points on this possession as we get later into the third quarter, down by 3 touchdowns and a 2-point convert.
Again, not quite in that 3-down territory yet, but getting there.
Povla and Anderson check back in. Elliott running out of time. Now finds a man, and a catch is made down at the 25-yard line. And once again, it's Anderson.
You know, Isaac Anderson does a nice job to secure this and just concentrate for a split second after a tough throw is made here by Elliott. Right-handed quarterback rolling out eventually to his left as he doesn't like what he sees to the play side. He ends up flushed out to his left. Had to throw across his body, but see that excellent protection of the football from Isaac.
Povla, he gets cut down on the play as Ricardo Coakley, who had a couple of interceptions in Calgary, has the stop.
And Coakley was a little wobbly getting up from that one. Again, when I talk about Keto Povla, is good, solid, physical guy. I mean, he gets the feet cut out from him, and it was Ricardo Coakley who got up a little wobbly.
Coakley in his 7th game in this revamped defense. Former Edmonton Eskimo. 2nd and 7. Twin tight ends and a pass complete. And it is a first down. Terrence Edwards has the catch. That should put him over 1,000 yards for the 5th time in his career. And so Terrence Edwards becomes the 24th in CFL history with 5 1,000-yard seasons receiving.
2 pretty good games against Hamilton. Coming in just under 100 in both of them, and it's had 300-yard games on the season, chipped away and got to that 1,000-yard mark.
Mentioned in the first half, amazing he's on the field. The walking boot yesterday didn't look like he was very mobile. Elliott looking cross field, got Povla around the 10, and he gets brought down by Markeith Knowlton at the 5-yard line.
5,000-yard seasons, as you mentioned, for Terrence Edwards. 2007, 8. This is the 9th year, and then the last 3 years. But you mentioned it, Chris. I mean, you hear all the time players say that if it's a playoff game, I play. Well, this is a playoff game, basically, for these teams.
Keeper Elliott straight ahead, touchdown. Joey Elliott has the touchdown, and the Bombers have life.
The importance of the play fake and how it freezes Ray Williams gives him a chance. Joey Elliott to beat Ray Williams to the goal line. Carl Volney going from left to right on the play fake. He draws the linebacker, takes him out of position by about a half a yard. And that's all Joey Elliott needed.
First touchdown run of the year for Joey Elliott. And a man short. Yes, somebody coming on late for the Bombers. And Enoch Mwamba will check in late. And Pilardi puts it through. So now a 15-point game. Not gonna go for 2 this early, but now within 2 touchdowns.
There's Ray Williams, and watch how he's drawn to Carl Volney on this play fake here to open up a run lane for Joey Elliott. I mean, he steps hard, and that extra step in this direction to try and cut off the running back along with the defensive end opens up the inside run lane. And Joey Elliott reads that perfectly, almost like that ride and decide play that both these quarterbacks and both these teams use quite often. More of a play action going against the flow. And with Ray Williams just about a half yard out of position, Elliott gets to the goal line. But an absolute must-score opportunity that they cash in on. And Tim Burke is climbing back in this football game, but they had that field position advantage for most of that third quarter, but weren't cashing in.
Just checking to confirm that's Joey Elliott's first Canadian Football League touchdown. Andrea Jones, we mentioned he's been terrific on returns, but good cover by the Bombers. And they don't allow him to get over the 35-yard line. So now a little intrigue as the defense for Winnipeg will come out and try and put a quick stop to Henry Burris and get the ball back.
Henry Burris has kind of gone away a little bit from his run game as it starts to rain even harder here at Ivor Wynne Stadium.
Modest numbers under the conditions for Burris, looking for his 90th CFL victory here today. Jonathan Hefty tripped him up when it looked like a bigger play was developing.
Burris does a nice job. You mentioned about his starts. I mean, only Anthony Calvillo more starts for active quarterbacks in the CFL, and uses experience to just back away from pressure there and wait till Bakari Grant opens up on the far side of the formation.
First catch for Grant on the day. He has touchdowns in each of his last 3 games. First and 10 up at the 43. 6 receivers out. And the crosser underneath is sniffed out, and there is the middle linebacker, Enoch Mwamba.
Well, that's a couple of crossers in a row that have worked well for Hamilton, and this time the linebacking corps for the Bombers are just going to stay close. Enoch Mwamba is just staying right close to the line of scrimmage, just anticipating that. Now the progression there is to throw it behind the crosser, because where there's an under like that, there's always an over in behind it. So if the linebackers keep moving forward to the line of scrimmage, then Burris may be able to throw that intermediate route behind them.
Good at the last play, third quarter. 2nd and 10, Burris over the middle out of the reach of Andy Fantus.
That was the area, but he didn't have an underneath crosser.
So it will be a punt situation for Hamilton when we start the 4th quarter. Ticats by 15.
What are you doing?
I got a tail, babe.
You mean my parents?
Right. The restaurant.
The new Lancer 10th Anniversary Edition with over $2,500 of no-charge extra features.
Want to play like a casino VIP? JackpotCity.net free online casino will teach you how. Learn to bring the house down using our perfect strategy feature. Enjoy hours of entertainment on our award-winning slots, featuring famous brands like Tomb Raider and the Osbournes. Plus, you'll find a huge variety of roulette, blackjack, and video poker games to play. Visit JackpotCity.net and live it up like a VIP. JackpotCity.net free online casino. Learn to play, play to win.
1 quarter of regular season football left at Ivor Wynne. They're the numbers through 3 quarters.
Well, and only 1 quarter left for one of these 2 teams, and if they tie, both teams are out. So important drive for the Bombers there. They've got a chance, and we've got a lot of football in this 4th quarter to be played. It's interesting.
We may still have some drama today. There have been a lot of reminiscing. We've heard from some of the Ticat greats, and I want to hear from a player who came in here with this intimidating atmosphere, and you've got one particular story as a rookie.
Yeah, 1984, and then coming in as a rookie, I was starting at free safety. We had 2 corners in Terry Irvin and Ken Hinton on the other side. Ken Hinton got hurt in the first quarter, and our coach moved me in my rookie year in my second game in the league to corner. Dieter Brock was the starting quarterback for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. I remember looking over there thinking, I know all about this guy and how good of a player he is. He could throw it to that wide side out with a flick of a wrist. They had a good football team. I just backed up Chris and hung on for dear life for that game. But
you made it through.
But you know what? A great place to play. Some mixed emotions because I'm not like any visiting football player coming in, as Danny McManus mentioned. I don't think anyone's going to miss those visitors' locker rooms, but to be this close to the fans and a passionate fan base that absolutely loves their hard-nosed, tough football, I remember thinking it's going to be a dogfight every time we came here.
Bartell with the boot. Javon Johnson finds a little hole there, and a decent return for Johnson up to the 38-yard line. Well, this will be an interesting drive for the Bombers. Tell us a lot about how close this fourth quarter can get. Joey Elliott rallied a couple of weeks ago against Calgary, rallied his team in the second half after a sputtering start against Calgary, and kept putting the Bombers in position to score, but on that day he kept throwing interceptions in the end zone.
Well, and remember, sometimes you have a good feeling against one team in particular, and he did throw for 400 against this team.
Good drop, and now a little further downfield, but Terrence Edwards could not bring it down, and he's been shaken up along the sidelines. Tried to keep his feet in and awkwardly crashes into the signage there. And again, this part of this stadium, there is very little room along the sidelines between the playing field and the wall.
Yeah, and even less there. See that sort of special area for VIP fans.
What a frightening play last night in Calgary. Maurice Price into the propane burner on the sidelines.
Well, you know,
glad to report he's okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Chris. You know, it's that time of year. I mean, guys are laying it on the line. I mean, no matter what it takes, right? And you're going to get Terrence Edwards, who's going to be that guy for you, trying to keep his feet in, and just, I think he sort of hit his head over there as well, and kind of reached back towards the middle of his back. Maybe got a bit of a stinger. We hope that he's okay. But that time of year, the physical intensity is turned up. Guys are going after it. They understand that don't win this afternoon, it's over.
So it'll be 2nd and 10. Edwards out, Jade Etienne comes in, and a pass for Chris Matthews, who hangs on at midfield. Had to battle to make that catch and comes down with it, and that's a clutch first down for Winnipeg.
Well, it was all strong hands from Chris Matthews, because it looked like he almost peaked and got away with it, and peeked up the field. We've seen this happen at all levels in all leagues, where the receiver will just take a little peek down the field. He did that, got away with it with strong hands.
Once again to fire offense, a pass from Matthews, incomplete, looking for flags and none forthcoming.
That last play was to the wide side of the field. That one there, which was a knockdown, was to the short side, and that's where Jeff Tisdale's been lining up. As his first interception, the Ticat in this game earlier on, and a good knockdown, perfect position on that slant route there.
2nd and 10. Bomber 53-yard line. Early releases, the pass is caught. Anderson has the catch right near the first down stick.
Joey Elliott starting to take control of that huddle, starting to get plays in and out, so one thing that even through some of his challenges this year, when he hasn't played as well, you've seen the signs of leadership.
And he has given you, this is going to be a hot topic of discussion, I think, in Winnipeg when this season is done. Just short, it'll be 3rd and inches. But Joey Elliott has shown you signs, and what do you do going forward? We heard Milt talk about Buck Pierce and his future in Winnipeg, and Joey Elliott is going to be a very difficult decision too, isn't he?
Well, no question. I think, you know, they've got to take a good hard look and discussion on all these quarterbacks. Alex Brink, Joey Elliott, certainly Buck Pierce's situation. You know, if you could bring them all back and evaluate from there, maybe make a trade in the offseason. I know Dave Naylor yesterday talked about possibility of Mike Riley being on the market.
3rd and inches. Alex Brink in, push ahead, and he has it behind the left guard. Chris Greaves, Justin Sorensen the center. But obviously, you're under scrutiny because at the moment you're 5-11. But there has been signs from Elliott, and when Buck Pierce is healthy, we know what he can do, and so Bomber management will have a tough evaluation when it's all done. And Joey Elliott trying to extend the Bombers' year here in the 4th quarter. On a roll, downfield, and he'll throw it away. Nothing opening up on that side of the field.
He's had most success when he's rolled to his left, which is the tougher direction to go in for a right-handed quarterback. Two and 7 in 9 starts. Didn't start this game, of course. Buck Pierce did, but 2 and 4 this season as a starter. 1 win against Hamilton.
Bombers have not had a big passing play today of 30 yards or more. They have more than the Ticats with Burris between the 3 quarterbacks this year. That pass is blocked by Denmark. He would have been well short of the 1st down, but the drive comes to an end, and they will send out the kick team, and instead of going 3rd and 10, they'll try and pin the Ticats, and there is a lot of time with just a 15-point deficit.
Yeah, that last score, the major before the end of the 3rd, was the one that allowed them to continue to play, you know, conventional football and try and keep the field position advantage in the Hamilton end, get it 2 and out if they can quickly, because they should have lots of possessions left with just under 12 minutes.
Longest pass play for the Bombers today, 17 yards. Line drive kick, Chris Williams up the block and slips up across the 30-yard line. Ticats will try and take some time off the clock when we come back.
Professionals, we salute you. The ones who take on many roles to get every job done the right way. The professional workhorses. The professional earth movers. The professional power generators. So if you're the type that wants to do everything like a professional, then stop driving an amateur's truck. The GMC Sierra HD. We are professional grade.
Be one with it, and it will be one with you. Be one with your tires, and the road will be one with you. Hankook Tire, official winter tire of Hockey Canada.
Competition everywhere. PokerStars.net. We are poker.
About Ivor Wynne, a lot of players reminiscing. One of those players, Dave Stala, who is a native of Hamilton. He said one memory stands out for him in particular. Behind me is Section 6. He said he used to sit in Section 6 when he was in high school, and he used to be one of the hecklers. One of the players that came in at the time, Anthony Calvillo, and he says he fondly remembers sitting behind there and booing him. Well, the funny thing is that Stala ended up playing with him later as he was drafted by the Montreal Alouettes. Yes, he admitted to Anthony that he did this, and yes, they are still friends.
Oh, that's classic. And hardly surprising. Avon Coburn takes the screen, and good pursuit by Andre Carroll to bring him down. Dave Stala, a kid who used to come here to watch games, and Matt Buckner in the defensive secondary of the Hamilton Ticats used to work the concessions, used to sell popcorn in the seats here at Ivor Wynne. Good 9-yard gain on first down for Coburn. Double tight end, second and short. Avon again has the first down. Avon Coburn came into the game needing 50 for 5,000 rushing yards in his CFL career.
Nice average. Closing in. Nice average since taking over, just around 6.5 yards per carry.
8 for 29 in this game, so the rush defense of the Bombers has been good.
This is when Hamilton really wants to run the ball effectively and take time off the clock, grind it down.
But Burris will take a shot here, wants Williams, and just failed to make a big catch there up against Javon Johnson.
Boy, and Henry Burris put it right on the money on the back shoulder of Chris Williams. He played it well to wait till the last second to stab at the football, but this ball, with the pouring torrential downfall, the Vaseline that Henry Burris puts on his hands worked perfectly there. You can't place it any better.
So it sets up 2nd and 10. Burris with 2 touchdown passes in this game. That's 12 of the games this year where he's had at least a pair of touchdown passes. This underneath for Williams will be marked at the, well, just short of the 50-yard line, but now they're saying incomplete. And it'll be 3rd down. Wouldn't have been nearly enough for first down anyway, and so Winnipeg's going to get the ball back here with just under 10 minutes to play. Thought we might have seen a little more ground and pound on that last possession by Hamilton.
Well, I thought between the game last night, BC Calgary game, and this game in these conditions, I thought for sure we'd see all run all the time.
4th consecutive punt for the Tabbies. And Javon Johnson awaits the Josh Bartell punt. And Johnson lets it bounce by him. And this is going to be terrific field position unless Johnson changes it and opens up here. Kevin Ivan flushes him back inside, but Javon Johnson scrambles it back close to the 35-yard line after a 59-yard punt.
Shop at Safeway, swipe your club card, and play Safeway $1 Million Touchdown to win. You could win a DVD prize pack from Alliance Films, featuring an all-star cast in The Expendables 2. Coming soon to Blu-ray and DVD. Shop and play at Safeway.
You have to scrub it first.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
Don't.
Do.
Whoa. Kitchen counselor. See, Cascade All-in-One packs work like micro-scrubbing brushes to help power away tough foods, even in corners and edges. Cascade. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back.
I'm doing it. I'm digging it.
I'm bringing it.
We're feeling it.
I'm living it up.
I'm lighting it up. Woo! I'm burning it up. And I'm loving it, baby!
Can a simple bracelet actually turn your life around? Yes, we're positive. Q-Ray. Q the positive. Q-Ray bracelets are available at wellness clinics, sporting goods stores, and fine jewelers everywhere.
So, you think you have what it takes to be a poker champion like me? If you're thinking yes, then log on to PokerStars.net and find the Jerry D PCA tournaments. You can play for free and for a chance to win a seat at the PokerStars Caribbean Adventure in Nassau, Bahamas with me. You can win your share of the millions in tournament dollars and maybe be the next big name in poker. Like I am. I'm a big name in poker. Now, Jerry Negranu Duham. Oh, visit PokerStars.net now.
We're ready for the snowdown in Steeltown. So huddle up from coast to coast for what should be a terrific football game. First down, Edmonton with the football. McManus going up top for Eddie Brown. What a catch! Eddie Brown! Touchdown, Edmonton! Second and goal. And Flutie's going to do just that, and he'll score. Touchdown, Doug Flutie. Double blue and Grey Cup champions in 1996.
Boy, that was some kind of Eddie Brown catch, and I recognize that voice. And your first call was a Grey Cup, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was 14. That was the first Grey Cup was a special day, and what a game. I remember leaving the house in Brampton, not a hint of snow, arriving at Ivor Wynne to a snowstorm thinking this is going to spoil what should have been a great day, but it actually enhanced it. What a remarkable day that was. Nothing but big plays from Eddie Brown to Gizmo Williams, Jimmy the Jet Cunningham, Adrian Smith, all had huge returns. And Grey Cup tickets for 2012, the 100th Grey Cup. Those folks are ready. Got a few over-exuberant fans trying to recreate the Eddie Brown catch, I think, on the field, and we got to wait till they get cleared off.
They better be careful or may recreate the D-Web hits as they run across. But
not as great a game as the one you played in '89, but one of the best Grey Cups ever here. And when the league wasn't on as firm a footing, I thought that showcase game really got the league going again. There's Elliott dumping it off. Carl Bolney's in the flat, and with an extra move, gets across the 40 to the 41-yard line. It'll be third down and a yard and a half or so, and Tim Burke has to make a decision.
I think he wants to see if he can get a measurement so he can get a couple more seconds to think about this here. With 8:27, he should get a lot more possessions. He's only down a couple.
Said a yard and a half. It might be just one full yard. And now the jumbo team comes on, and Alex Brink has come on. They're going to keep the offense on here. So
this is not a gimme distance, though.
No, it's a full yard. George Cortez mentioned yesterday that you might do things in this game you don't do in July. This may be one of them. Hand it off, straight ahead. Bolney's got it. Clutch conversion on third down for the Bombers.
I've always said it's a bit of a gamble when on short yardage, especially crucial short yardage plays like this one, you take the football off the line of scrimmage and turn around and go for a deep handoff in the backfield. But what it can do is when the defense submerges themselves in the line of scrimmage, that running back has a split second to pick a hole, and you can sometimes get a big play off of it. They got the first down, which was most important.
Brandon Boudreau came up a little shaken up after that. He'll stay in, though, and Bombers stay in a double tight end. Elliott rolling. Gets by first, but lost the handle, and Ray Williams will make sure he doesn't advance, dropping him back at the 40.
Had a chance to get Chris Matthews out of the backfield that came across the formation and had him initially, but he had pressure in his face, and when he had pressure in his face and had to reload it, make a move, you see Matthews come out here in this side of the formation. And here he comes there. Now he's out in the formation. He has a chance there, but he has pressure in his face from Ray Williams.
Dropped the ball, fortunate to get back on it. Second sack of the game for the Ticats. As Ray Williams has his third, and two of them have come against the Bombers. Second and long. Into the field behind Edwards, who pays the price. As Ray Williams gets a free shot.
Hear the panel talk about how the way that they introduced the Hamilton Tiger Cats with the legends circled around them, and each one of those players walked around. Ray Williams, to me, is having one of his best games in this entire football season, and he's made a lot of tackles. I mentioned he ranked third, flying around the football, made a play on first down there. He takes out Terrence Edwards on the crossing route, even though he didn't catch the football on that last play. I think he was influenced by the legends.
Chris Williams takes it on a hop. The flag comes down. And Williams is brought down at the 43-yard line. Mwamba gets a piece of him after a 6-yard return.
Professionals, we salute you. The ones who take on many roles to get every job done the right way. The professional workhorses. The professional earth movers. The professional power generators. So if you're the type that wants to do everything like a professional, then stop driving an amateur's truck. The GMC Sierra HD. We are professional grade.
Troy Polamalu is going deeper. And so is Head & Shoulders Deep Clean.
Fights flakes and goes deep to remove grease and gunk. It's our deepest clean ever.
Deep. Like me.
Head & Shoulders Deep Clean for men.
Why bust your bank? For a limited time, all you need is just $6 to enjoy a tasty 6-inch sandwich from the classic menu, a yummy soup, and a drink or a coffee. All this for $6. Subway, think fresh, eat fresh.
So, you think you have what it takes to be a poker champion like me? If you're thinking yes, then log on to PokerStars.net and find the Jerry D PCA tournaments. You can play for free and for a chance to win a seat at the PokerStars Caribbean Adventure in Nassau, Bahamas with me. You can win your share of the millions in tournament dollars and maybe be the next big name in poker. Like I am. I'm a big name in poker. Now, Jerry Negranu Duham. Oh, visit PokerStars.net now.
The CFL on TSN is brought to you by GMC Sierra. We are professional grade. And we are 6:23 remaining, fourth quarter. You know, when the wrecking ball comes in here, I have this image. It's going to be the same thing as the Spectrum in Philadelphia. The big wrecking ball is going to come in and just bounce off the wall. Won't even put a dent in this baby.
You might be right.
Well, let's see if the Ticats can chew up more clock on this possession. Coburn and Johnny Sears steps into the hole and brings him down quickly.
They may have found a guy for that strong side linebacker spot that they, in their terminology, call Sam. A lot of teams do. Johnny Sears playing aggressively up there, bigger than Javon Johnson, who's played there. Jonathan Hefney, who you mentioned, and went and talked to the coaching staff, said he wasn't comfortable. And Johnny Sears in the volunteer position said, yeah, I'll take it.
Brandon Stewart has been there. Damon Washington. And a merry-go-round after Clinton Kent, the incumbent, was cut. Burris in some trouble. Gets away. Downfield. Oh! Bakari Grant is leveled on one of the biggest hits you'll ever see, and somehow gets up. Dion Beasley blows up Bakari Grant. So you want to be a football player?
Oh boy. I am shocked that Bakari Grant jumped up. Wow.
Bartel boots it away. Devon Johnson, 24-yard line, and great cover. Kevin Scott downfield in a hurry. A reminder, the CFL on TSN continues next. Game 2 of our Saturday afternoon doubleheader, and it's an important game as the Saskatchewan Roughriders meet the Toronto Argonauts. All gets underway immediately following the game on TSN Mobile TV, and the Ticats will be watching that game. The Argos can solidify their spot. If they don't, and this score holds, we've got a showdown for second next week in Toronto.
And then the Hamilton Ticats would have to win that game by 9 points in their series against the Argos if that scenario unfolded.
Under 5 minutes to go. The Bombers aren't done yet, but they need some big plays. Isaac Anderson has the catch. Back pedals out at the 36-yard line.
Let's go back to that big hit. Dion Beasley on Bakari Grant, and again, I'm sure the league will take a look at it, and we've talked many times, talked about it here at Ivor Wynne. The helmet-to-helmet contact that we see so often. I know that, you know, the initial reaction watching all of these plays is always the same, like just a big hit, head-to-head, face-to-face, straight through the receiver, didn't see it coming from the backside, and yet the league now and the culture that we're trying to create, and we'll have to take a look at that and determine whether or not there was deliberate helmet-to-helmet. I don't think there was.
Ticats signaled initially they were on it, but I think Winnipeg saves it. Alex Brink gets back on the ball.
You know, and I think just to wrap up that discussion quickly here, but maybe it's the terminology of saying it helmet to helmet that is causing part of the confusion, because there is helmet to helmet on virtually every play in football. And as long as it's done properly and fundamentally sound, where you're hitting almost with your face mask and face up, there shouldn't be issues. But the league will look at that. What a hit.
Here we go, third down. They lost yards on that missed snap. Now Elliott's got to make a play. 3rd and 3. They hand it off. They're not going to get it, or do they? Looks like they're short. Ticats have forced a turnover on downs, and what a day it's been for Brandon Boudreau.
Well, Brandon Boudreau, Ray Williams, a Ticat defense that fed off the inspiration of the Ticat legends, and in the last regular season game at Ivor Wynne Stadium, a stadium that's been built on the reputation of Steel Town, tough, defensive football throughout its history, the Hamilton defense has played their best game of 2012.
Little surprised at the play call on 3rd and 3. They converted on 3rd yard and a half with that call, but Brandon Boudreau slams the door on that play. Ticats take over. Coburn left side. Down to the 32-yard line. We've hit the 3-minute warning at venerable Ivor Wynne, home side on top.
Wow, our 3rd date. I'm into this, but I wonder if she is. Are we moving forward? Did she like the movie? Does she like me? I wish I had a sign. I'll take that as a yes.
The 2013 Chevrolet Cruze with available mileage system to connect with what really matters. Chevrolet, driving our world forward.
When the spice brings joy to your eye, remember, girl, love a man who can cook.
KFC Zinger Sandwich. Bring on the tears of joy. KFC, so good.
Hey Canada, the NFL Fan Experience Tour is coming to your town. Join the NFL and its partners in these great cities. You could win great prizes, meet NFL players, and have fun with the entire family. Visit NFL.com/NFL Exxon Tour for more details.
FullTiltPoker.net. We play again.
Closed captioning brought to you by Gibson's 100th Grey Cup commemorative whiskey. Available now in limited supply at local liquor stores.
Well, there's one more week in the regular season, but the Bombers have 254 here. Their playoff hopes on the line, and they have to turn the ball over now. I mean, tackling isn't going to work for them. George Cortez, perfect position here to grind it down. Stay on the ground. Or high percentage passes.
Coburn again, and he'll be stopped short of the first down as we check in with Dave Randorf.
Game 2 is set to happen in Regina with Hamilton steering towards a victory that puts the pressure on the Argos against Darian Durant of the Riders. That is coming up from Mosaic, which is chilly today.
Well, you know, the Ticats will be watching that with great interest. Luke Akanji's come on to attempt a 36-yard field goal, trying to make it an 18-point game and a 3-score advantage.
I think he just wants to get one on the tee cleanly.
And Cruz gets it done, and so does Kanji. And holder and kicker celebrate that one. Game story here at Ivor Wynne today, brought to you by Mr. Luke at top to bottom maintenance and take good care.
Yeah, it's been a mixed emotions in this afternoon as we end an era. Ivor Wynne Stadium, and talk with Angelo Mosca. Seen a lot of the greats from Ticat history, and to see the performance of their defense in this game, I think is absolutely fitting in a tough afternoon to play football weather-wise. Tough fans in here enjoying every minute of it.
And the Ticats not guaranteed anything even with a win here today, but this defensive performance may be sending a message to the rest of the league. Joey Elliott gets outside and he'll scramble for big yards, and Elliott didn't step out and got probably an extra 10. Ends up as a 20-yarder. They'll mark him at midfield. Of course, Canadiens will see its final game next week. Final game 2.0 for Canadiens Stadium.
Yeah.
And it will be the Hall of Fame game. Milt Stegall, Damon Allen, Jack Abenjan, the late Ty Jones. What a great Hall of Fame class that is. Darryl Volney out of the backfield. A catch down to the 46-yard line.
Got to push it and take some shots now. An interesting offseason in Winnipeg.
Second and short. Volney has the first down. We couldn't say farewell to Ivor Wynne without acknowledging maybe the most famous section of Ivor Wynne Stadium, Box J, the Box J boys. And we've talked a lot about the stadium, but really it's a lot about the crowd and the personalities that come to the stadium. And it continues to be a big day for that defense.
Derek Summers comes off the edge there, getting a chance to play in the rotation.
There's a newcomer, Derek Summers, the former Argo, picked up 8 games with the Argos in his first for the Ticats, and he chips in with a sack. Third of the game for Hamilton. Well, those defensive tackles make a difference. Marquise Knowlton makes a difference. Bo Smith's return changes things, and that pass sails incomplete, and suddenly a defense that's last in so many categories looks a whole lot different than it did a month ago.
Well, this is the type of games in the history of this franchise that the Ticats have played defensively, where quarterbacks have been knocked out, running backs have been knocked out, physical play. We've seen that from D. Webb at safety, Ray Williams at middle linebacker. You know, and I'd be remiss to not mention one of the Ticat biggest fans of all time, which is our producer John Hines in the truck, who is completely neutral when producing games, but has been to many a game here at Ivor Wynne, and I know he's shedding a little tear or two in this one, and it winds down in the very last game. Possibly, unless there's a playoff game, which is still a possibility for the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Now we've got more
a long shot,
more fans on the field, so this will delay things. But when we talked to some of the players yesterday, they didn't want to talk last game because they felt very strongly. Henry Burris, Ray Williams mentioned specifically that the intent of this team was to make sure this was not the last game. They're not following the script here. Now they need some help for that to happen again from the Saskatchewan Roughriders later today, but it looks like they've taken care of their part. That game 12 minutes away. Minute 23 on the clock here. Sold over 29,000. The inclement weather kept many away here. Sky seems to be breaking right now as Alex Brick takes a shot. Tisdale will come down with it. His second of the game and second of the year. Defense with another takeaway. It's the 5th of the day.
Well, must win for both teams. Must win for the Ticats coming into this game this afternoon for a sentimental reason as well. Win on their final regular season game in your stadium. It's been here for 84 years. Ticats home since 1950.
You know, at the Tragically Hip concert here a couple of weeks ago, kind of a farewell concert, fans were showing up with tools. They were going to try and dismantle some of the stands to take home a souvenir, and I think they were worried that that might continue here because they may need the stands for a couple of weeks from now. Devon Walker following some blocks, gets up to the 28-yard line. Let's just say security is going to have a tough final minute here because there's been a lot of guys trying to get on
Winnipeg.
the field. Bombers stop the clock.
I'm not sure why they did that, but in fact the organization is going to have some memorabilia and parts of the stadium for auction later on in the month of November. I'm sure you go to the Ticat website, you'll see all that information and get a little piece of this history.
Season ticket holders can buy their seat or their bench in a lot of cases.
Stadium yard sale November 17th, as a matter of fact.
Going off inside, JT Gilmore, Andre Carroll are there to close that out. So a Bomber season that started with 4 road games and an 0-4 start. And although they got things together in the second half with Tim Burke at the helm,
yeah,
the postseason dreams will come to an end here today.
Yeah, they will, but it'll be interesting to see what happens with Tim Burke and whether or not they give him a chance to actually start from scratch with a football team in training camp and be their head coach. I'm sure that decision won't be made, or even they don't get to that decision until they discuss the general manager and Joe Mack and what his future may hold. Dave Naylor again reporting yesterday on our panel that both be back for next year.
Javon Johnson. He's got a little room here. It's Javon Johnson. Bartell slows him down, and he's brought down at the 25-yard line.
Whoa, and a late hit from a Bomber.
Yvonne Coburn made the tackle.
Pierre-Luc Labbé stepped into Samuel Giguère well after the play was over. I'm not sure if he was the only flag, but he's going to be one of them.
After the play, major foul, unnecessary roughness. Winnipeg, 47. 15 yards, first down.
It is Labbé. Bombers will fall to 5-12. Did not win consecutive games this year. Haven't won back-to-back since August of last season. Alex Brink in at quarterback. Cats look like they're bringing the house. They do. Picked up. Will take a shot for Edwards. He's got it. Touchdown. What a catch by Terrence Edwards as Alex Brink with the perfect touch. And 23 seconds left. 28-16.
Well, based on the pouring rain, the fact that he was cold off the bench when Jolie Elliott went out hurt, I think he threw about as far as he could and let Terrence Edwards just run underneath it.
Fourth touchdown of the year for Edwards.
They'll go for 2.
Try and make it a 10-point deficit.
Need a major field goal if they get this. 2 onside kicks.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Not really, no.
Brink on a roll, throws back. Matthews, he's got it. So a little closer. 28-18. And Alex Brink fired up. So we'll see the hands team come on. Let's take another look at the 2-pointer.
Full roll to the right, and the whole idea is to have the entire defense influenced and then throw it backside.
Well, a former Cat, a guy who spent a lot of time at Ivor Wynne in charge of the special teams for Winnipeg, Kyle Walters, getting the hands team ready for this short kick.
We've talked a lot about the history and the memories of this stadium, but it's time. And the new plans look outstanding. Still yet to be determined where the team will play in 2013. Their home games, but it's time to move into the new digs.
Saw a successful short yardage play last week by the short yardage kick by Hamilton, Luka Kanji, and everybody in motion here as Palardy puts it up for grabs, and Andy Fantuz comes down with it. Sure hands of Fantuz there. And the Ticats will run it out. The final regular season game here. And this is what the new facility will look like with the extra Grey Cup bleachers in the end zone. That will not be part of the normal look of the new stadium, but they will be expandable to over 40,000 for the Grey Cup.
And facing a different direction.
We're currently east-west, and it will turn north-south. Henry Burris with couple of touchdown passes today has matched a career best 39. Chris Williams tied a Ticat record with his 50th touchdown of the year. And the Ticats have done their part to extend the season to a home playoff game.
And the drama builds for the game that follows this one. Toronto and Saskatchewan.
Not yet in the postseason, even with the win today. But a chance to get there and maybe even extend the life of this old barn for one more game. 84 years of Ivor Wynne Stadium history. We may have seen the last today. We have in regular season action, but there might be one more game. Ticats take care of business and eliminate Winnipeg. The final score here, 28-18 Hamilton. So long from Ivor Wynne.
competition. Everywhere. PokerStars.net. We are poker.
It's all those trials that bred scars. It's all those experiences you had to try once. It's all those people you thought you should be. It's the path we all walk to get to who we really are. And the journey is good. Guinness is good.
He is just one fast twitch muscle. That's all he is.
Ricky Ray for Chad Owens. He's got it, and he'll score.
Absolute difference maker for this Saskatchewan Rough Rider team.
Durant, Pressler has it. He's got another touchdown.
All right, time for game 2 of the doubleheader. Christine Carbert of Calgary. You could win a 2013 Nissan Altima if a kickoff is